We'll recap the Braves and check in on the Redbirds after the game.
Due to the following 25 sports exclusive, Give Me a Break, Spencer, and Partners in Crime will not be seen tonight. Live from the Peoria Civic Center Arena, 25 Sports brings you the rematch between the Loyola Ramblers and the Bradley Braves. Tonight's Bradley basketball telecast is brought to you in part by Toyota. Oh, what a feeling. GP Transit, your passport to Peoria. And by the Pekin New Car Dealers.
This is the battleground, the Civic Center Arena, and we're live, ready to watch the nation's leading returning scorer and the Loyola Ramblers fire against the up-and-coming Bradley Braves. Good evening again, everybody. I'm Frank Bassoni, along with Mike Dimmick, and welcome to the rematch between these two fine teams. Mike, when Bradley opened the season in Chicago, they were the not-ready-for-prime-time players. I think it might be different tonight.
I know it will. The Braves have been in exams all day long. If we can use exams again, this is a makeup exam for the Braves. They blew the first one, mainly because they didn't know what was coming. Not much experience. Dick Versace says now they're ready.
Okay, we'll have the starting lineups and then the play-by-play. Bradley and Loyola coming up.
A holiday gift idea from Eagle. A bountiful basket of assorted fresh fruit. Red delicious apples. Juicy grapes. Golden ripe bananas, tasty pineapple, and mouth-watering oranges. Sprinkled with nuts and candies and topped with a gaily colored bow. Holiday fruit baskets for you from Eagle, your holiday food store.
Looking for a new car? Come to Pekin, where the Pekin New Car Dealers have nearly 800 new cars within just a few minutes of one another. This is the largest group of dealers to organize in central Illinois. And together, they bring you the lowest prices. You can't buy a car for less than in Pekin. Their tradition of excellent service ensures that you won't be forgotten after the sale. The Pekin New Car Dealers. Easy access just off 474 and plenty of parking. And right now, register to win $1,000 at any of the Pekin New Car Dealers. Why would you want to go anywhere else?
Taxi, weekdays at 4:30 on TV 25.
This is the Civic Center Arena in Peoria, where the crowd is coming in good numbers to see Bradley rematch against the Ramblers of Chicago Loyola. Both teams have won 3 games, and Loyola's lost only at LSU, Marquette, and Oklahoma, 3 powerhouse teams. Loyola has 3 players who average 67 points a game, and Mike Dimmick, the fans, the students are closer than they've ever been before at this arena.
Yeah, that's the one difference you'll notice tonight. First time in 3 years, something that the students and really I think a lot of the Bradley alums have been clamoring for. Get those students down on the floor. Let's try to, if we can, get that atmosphere of Robertson back. They'll try as best they can, and this should help.
Well, they haven't had the atmosphere of Robertson Fieldhouse, but they think they can do it by bringing the students down onto the court side, and they're ringing the court right now, particularly underneath the baskets. We have students, and it should be a factor in favor of the home team, Bradley. And Bradley's played better in its last couple of games with victories over Temple and Furman.
One of the big differences is they're shooting a little bit better. They're playing better defense. These are 2 things that Dick Versace wanted at the beginning of the season, wants their shot selection to improve. He feels like all these things have been coming along. And if you were with us in the first telecast, we said that was a learning experience for the Braves. And they've been getting A's and B's ever since then.
We're getting ready for the introduction of the starting lineups for tonight's game. As you see the flag waving going on in the stands, and there's undercurrent of emotion here that indicates the crowd thinks that Bradley's ready to play very good basketball from here on out through this basketball campaign and throughout the conference season. Loyola, of course, is coached by Gene Sullivan, who attended Notre Dame and is in his 4th year as the head man at Loyola. He's 72-49 career at Loyola. He was formerly the athletic director at Loyola and at DePaul. The officials for tonight's game are Rich Bertoni and Dan Christman, both of Chicago and both of the Missouri Valley Conference. Loyola starts with Al Frederick Hughes, 6'5", 215, the senior, averaging 25 a game. For Bradley, this is Boise Winters, the 6'8" senior from Chicago Gage Park, and this is Chicago players against Chicago players. You want to see a guy that can shoot the ball. Number 44 is Andre Battle, a 6'3" senior from Chicago Simeon. He averages 22 points a game, and there is 47 a game. Here's Bradley's other forward, 6'7", 225. From Gary, Indiana, Derek Parks, and you see he's wearing a band to cover some stitches he got in the Furman game. Parks goes in at forward.
Able to be like Patrick Ewing, set a new standard all over basketball to be wearing these now.
Bradley didn't see this man at 6'9" and 215, a sophomore from Chicago Carver, Andre Moore at center. And for Bradley from Chicago, De La Salle, a junior at 6'8", 255. Bradley's enforcer, number 3, Mike Williams. So Williams and Moore go against each other in the center for the first time. A man they call Go-Go, number 11, Carl Golston, averaging 20 a game, a junior from Chicago Phillips, 5'9". For Bradley, 5'11", junior from Niles, Notre Dame, the popular Jimmy Less, number 15, averaging almost 9 points a game. For Loyola, number 4, a 6'3" senior, tough on the D, is Greg Williams. Williams out of Chicago Collins there. And for Bradley, an eye-popping freshman at 6'3" from Chicago Westinghouse, 33, is Hersey Hawkins. There are your starting lineups. We'll be back with a tip-off, Bradley and Loyola, in a moment.
Wrap up your Christmas at Cohen's. You can buy all the furniture, carpeting, bedding, and accessories you want at Cohen's and make no down payment, no monthly payment, and pay no interest till March of '85. And right now, you can buy this beautiful 6-piece designer grouping, sofa, chair, rocker, party, and end tables, valued at over $1,000 for just $7.99. You save $300 on the grouping and make no down payment, no monthly payment, and pay no interest till March of '85. Wrap up your Christmas at Cohen's.
There's no value like Toyota value. These leading used car guides rate Toyota higher in overall percent of retained value, higher than Chevy or Ford or Nissan. A 1-year-old Toyota Corolla, for example, is valued at almost 5% more than its original sticker. A Toyota Camry, more than 10%. Impressive numbers, you know it. The more you compare, the more you'll see. It's Toyota, not the other guys.
The Dukes of Hazzard, weekdays at 3:30 on TV 25.
Bradley in the home white, trimmed in red. Loyola's Ramblers in the maroon and gold. It'll be Moore at 6'9" in the middle against Mike Williams at 6'8", and the ball is up in the start of the game with Bradley having it. The last time these two teams played, Loyola made the first 9 shots they took in the game. Man-to-man Ramblers.
That'll be an important thing to watch, Frank. 20-8, that was the start Loyola had in game 1. And Dick Versace wants to avoid that.
Boise Winters, corner left, skip pass across to Hersey Hawkins. Williams sets the post. They lob to him and out of bounds to Bradley. Mike Williams had 20 points in the first Bradley-Loyola game, and he's the man inside for Bradley in the weight department.
Yeah, and if you remember in that game, he had some trouble getting going. Most of those points came in the second half.
Jimmy Less, the first shot of the game. Rebound, up, and Williams has it for Bradley, lost on the floor. Look at this battle. Derek Parks and Golston in the alternating possession. Loyola starts with the ball on the jump.
Well, we start out with what looked like a pinball game there. The ball just bouncing around.
And Parks, and there's a Bradley playing a 3-man front zone. Looks like a 3-2 zone. We'll see what it is. They played man-to-man against Loyola there the whole game. Battle. 0 for 1. Ball. Whistle and a foul on Less. And he winced.
Jimmy just went from, what, about 20 years old to about 8 years old there. He looked like he got caught with his hands in the cookie jar.
Jimmy Less's favorite athlete is Pete Rose, and that's understandable when you see him play. They stack and go. Shot outside is down by Alfredrick Hughes.
Alfredrick has not been shooting all that well. He's still scoring, but he's only shooting at about 42% a game.
Bombs away when Hughes plays. Here's Less coming up. Bradley's down by 2. Mike Williams comes outside, and he's got muscles in places where other people don't even have places. He's a big one. Setting the low post is Parks down low, and he's got the ball there. Turns, steps in, is blocked by Moore. Taken down by Moore. Great play. Hughes. Percy Hawkins steals. Whistle. And it's a jump ball call, and this time it's Bradley's ball, and it's very aggressive.
I'm almost surprised they didn't get Hersey for walking. He had both feet off the floor and just kind of holding the ball up, but they didn't get it, and Bradley will take over.
Nick Mercedes prowls the sidelines, looking for Bradley's 4th win of the early year.
Now Loyola putting the pressure on full court, and they'll take it off.
One of the factors is that Tim Bankston is not dressed for this game, and that means Jim Less will play more minutes than usual. And now fatigue is a factor. Bertolini is not ready yet. He'll be ready in the tournament for Bradley. Baseline Williams steps in and is stepping out of bounds along that baseline.
He got by Alfredrick Hughes, but Alfredrick was playing enough defense to at least force him to straddle that baseline, and he just touched it.
2-0 Loyola. We've just begun. We've played 2 minutes. 2 Chicago Catholic League coaches of the past, Sullivan and Versace, against each other.
Bradley staying in that zone. They'll have to prove they can hit it.
Alfredrick Hughes missed off Bradley to Loyola. Bradley setting up in a 3-2 zone, and one of the things we'll want to watch is what the back men are doing, whether they're playing zone or man in the back line.
Look at the difference. All the Bradley students in back there on their feet now.
Inside Moore for the layup. Nice out-of-bounds play by the Ramblers. They lead 4-0. And Bradley doesn't want to get behind 20-8 against this hot shooting team again. Boise winners. Bradley needs their first hoop. Here it comes. Missed outside. Boy, Moore is a force on the boards, and you can tell that Loyola is a better rebounding team with him.
That's the difference. They had Dave Klusendorf in game 1, who really did the best job he's done all season, but you can already tell he's not a Moore.
There's the shot outside by Hughes. It's good again, and Bradley is down 6. And Dick Versace is standing, maybe wants a timeout. Not yet. He's unhappy with the way Bradley's handling this press. He's barking at Less and Parks in the back.
Yeah, and that's Jimmy's responsibility. He's the quarterback of this team. He's got to make those decisions and tell other players.
They're going inside tonight if they can. Williams for 2. Mike Williams knocked it in on a 4-footer. Bradley's down by 4. Golston on the other end missed and rebounded. The ball's loose. Winners. Bradley runs. Less in the middle. Hawkins for the deuce.
Hersey Hawkins on the fast break is so adept at everything. The fast break really wasn't there, but he just hung around on the baseline and waited for the pass.
He's got great temperament for the game and great shooting touch. Moore, corner left. Andre Moore has 4, and Bradley's down by that many.
Well, this is a different Loyola team with this guy in there. He really adds a dimension they didn't have in game 1.
And he can do thundering slam dunks, too. He's got that kind of jumping and reaching ability. Bradley's on the perimeter right now. Percy Hawkins, wing left, hasn't shot outside. Williams inside again. Here he comes. Fouled. Williams called, I think, for charging. Let's see.
Still haven't seen a call.
Still have not seen a call. There's a whistle and a timeout of the court. The score is 8-4 Loyola, and we'll be right back.
John, you know, it's my business to know about passes, and this clearly is a good one because it doubles as a discount card. Show your passport and get discounts all over town.
Dick, the passport is really a bus pass that makes it easy for you to get around town. And I know something about getting around town.
The passport, it's 2. 2 cards in 1. A 20-ride bus pass and a discount card.
John, did I tell you this is a GMC bus?
What?
The children of St. Jude's affiliate in Methodist Medical Center celebrate the gift of life every day as preciously as they celebrate Christmas. In this Christmas season of dreams and hopes, the children of St. Jude thank you for your support of their dreams and hopes throughout each day of the year.
Entertainment this week, Sunday nights at 10:30 on TV 25.
Back at the Civic Center, here's what you might call your mystery call. We weren't sure when we left you what it was. We've now established that it was traveling on Mike Williams. Did he shuffle his feet? I don't know.
I think the official mailed in his call. He still hasn't made a signal.
They told us 3 seconds at first, or we thought they said 3 seconds, so take your pick.
Bradley's extended the pressure to half court with Hersey Hawkins in the middle of the point. It's a zone trap on the half court. This is Greg Williams coming outside to help with the ball handling. Battle can really shoot. He's over there on the left wing, and so can this guy, Golston. Traveling on Golston as Hughes was on the right wing. And those three guys will take the shots. Hughes, Golston, and Battle.
And here's where it pays off to have an athlete like Hersey Hawkins. You can put him out there on the point, great leaping ability, great quickness. If he pinches a guy on the sidelines, you're going to see more turnovers tonight.
I'd like to see Boise Winters release and have Williams throw the ball length of the court to him.
He was looking at it, then he came back.
Well, this will be an up-tempo thing. Here comes Les against Golston on the right. Boise Winters loads up. Bang!
New Boise Winters this year. You put him out on the perimeter, and he has been dynamite, really, against everybody except Loyola when he hardly played in the second half.
He's averaging 15. Here's Hughes. He averages 25. Williams horses it. Here comes Bradley on the scoot. 3-on-1. Les. Winters dropped it, and he knocked Golston out of bounds. Traveling on Golston, and Gene Sullivan is bananas. Well, the referee flat missed it.
Oh, well, AC's consistent.
Bradley has the ball. They're down 8-6. 15-14 to play first half. Hersey Hawkins rises. Les rebounds and clears back outside.
They're going to let Hersey take that jumper. He's the best shooter on the team so far, shooting almost 60%, if you can believe that from a freshman.
Hawkins averages 15.5 points a game. Jimmy Les. Nice rebound by Hughes. He's got arms by Schwarzenegger. Look at him. For 6'5", he's got arms like Mike Williams.
That's right. The NBA is looking at him very carefully.
Bradley sits back in his zone. It's all the way 15 feet back, and Golston attacks it.
Now watch the three men come out. They don't want him to get those jumpers.
Whistle. Foul on Parks of Bradley against Williams as he went across the lane. Dan Crispin comes over to call the foul, and Dick Versace has a visit with him.
Derek looks pretty menacing with that wrap around his head. Got the big muscles, jersey hanging out. I wouldn't want to fool them inside.
Inside is not the place to be for healthy people, or unless you're real healthy. Battle shoots. He's the zone buster, and he got that one in. 10-6, his first two.
And we might say Bradley buster as well. He had 26 to lead Loyola in that game one.
And he's the guy that beat Bradley a year ago in double overtime. Speaking of double overtime, there was one today. Northwestern won over Northern Illinois, 64-59. Oh, Hersey Hawkins has the ball picked away from him, and Loyola has it back at the 14-minute mark. They'll try to add to their 4-point lead.
Nice D by Andre Battle there.
They'll give you a shot after a while of the 45-second clock mounted on top of the bank boards.
Now you see that zone extending out.
Battle shoots, and Bradley rebounds. Williams kicks it out. Bradley tries to run. Les sees Winters and goes in all the way to Boise, who steps in and scores.
That's the Bradley fast break you'll see all year long. Dick likes Boise and Hersey Hawkins to run those lanes. If the pass isn't there immediately, they just want him to keep on going to the basket.
4 for Boise. It's 10-8 Ramblers. Loyola has the ball poked away, but picked back up by Golston. There won't be much use of the 45-second clock. It now says 23 seconds, but these two teams get the ball up. There you see it there. Thank you, Ernie Santella, for directing the shots. Loyola fighting the zone right now. They're down to 10 on the 45-second clock. Carl Golston shoots a 20-footer that doesn't go, and the rebound is to Hughes, who fakes and scores.
Just a magnificent one-on-one player. There is hang time when you get Al Frederick underneath there, and he just got rid of a Bradley player hanging around.
Here's a whistle by Rich Bertoni. The ball apparently hit some moisture or dampness over there, and Bradley's going to have it inbounds. There's the coach with Parks and Williams.
Let's point out right from the start, what a change in tempo. Loyola is leading 12-8. They were leading 20-8 just 3.5 minutes into game one. We've got 12:47 here in this game left in the first half.
Illinois State a winner today over Detroit, 76-73. Jimmy Les breaks free. Hawkins on the wing, yes!
Give Hersey 4 points, and that was just a great way to break the press.
That was a clinic.
Kudos to all three of them.
That was recognition by Les and great running the court by Hawkins. Bradley down 12-10 with 12:25 to play opening half. Frank Bissoni and Mike Dimmick at the Civic Center Arena as Golston pops. Look at the battle for the board. Rebounding is Hughes. 2.
My word, I'm not sure he has legs. There's springs in there somewhere.
He's 6'5", and he went and got the ball and stuck it back in. And he's already piled up 8 points.
Something else Gene Sullivan says about him, he's got great natural ability, but he is really a hustler and a lot of determination. He doesn't get by in just natural ability. A lot of guys have that, and they don't go very far.
Alfredrick Hughes is one of the best scorers currently residing on this planet.
The other night against Long Island, he became the all-time Chicago College scorer, passing a guy named McGuire. That's how many he's got in his career.
Parks looks inside. Hawkins is on the wing. Lob to Mike Williams inside. Got it!
Get the foul, too, and Mike will go to the line. Bradley is looking inside a lot more.
Watch this muscle basket.
Double teamed, really, and Mike just said, forget about you two. I'm going to the hoop.
Once he got down on the low block that time, there was no stopping him, and Williams took everybody to the paint and stuffed them in.
First foul on Andre Moore, who they got on the call there.
And the first team foul on the Ramblers in a relatively foul-free first half.
All right, at home, what a big difference, huh, between game one, the confidence this Bradley team has on offense, especially when they're looking inside. Williams' shot bounces no. And Bradley's record in this building is 27-6. That helps confidence, too. Well, stay in that zone has worked very well so far. Battles at the top, and Golston there on the right. Bradley trying to double up inside on Hughes. Golston, bang. 16-12 Ramblers. You saw Boise winners there look over at the bench as soon as it was over. They said, it's all right. At least you made a try at him. You put a hand in the face. They have to shoot 20-footers against that zone, or 15-footers. Here's Boise winners with one that rolls out, tipped back up, and Loyola rebounds. Nobody's substituted yet. Golston stops, pops. And just like that, Golston got a couple, and Bradley's down 6, and timeout, Dick Versace. 10:59 to go in a hot one. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a coat and keep it company. That's the song I sing. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy the world a coat.
For 6 straight years, smart car and truck buyers who look for the best value have made Toyota the #1 selling import. But the supply of these best sellers is not always equal to the demand. In the next few days, a good selection of 85 Toyotas will arrive at a dealer near you. Maybe the model you've been looking for, but don't wait. Best sellers have a way of disappearing fast. The more you compare, the more you'll see. It's Toyota, not the other guys.
Mary Ann Bergerson on News 25.
Bradley trailing by 6 here at the Civic Center. We want to give you another look, though, at the last basket they have. Here's how you beat a fast break. Jimmy Les splits the defense. Percy Hawkins, you don't see him, but he's running the lanes just like he's supposed to, and there's how you do it. Not only on the court, but how you do it on the textbook. Percy Hawkins and Jim Les, maybe one of those, or Trevor Trippey maybe, who's just come into the game. One of those players might be selected, the Brown Sporting Goods Bradley Player of the Game. It's a new thing we got tonight. Browns will be making a donation to Bradley University in the name of the young man selected as the Bradley Player of the Game. Frank, you and I will be haggling over that when the time comes.
Look forward to it. Loyola shooting 56% on 9 of 16. Bradley shooting 6 of 12, 50%. Ramblers have 4 more shots. They lead by 6. 10:45 to play, first half. Trempy in for Boise Winters. And I think Dick Versace thought Winters' quick shot from outside wasn't the idea. They wanted to go inside with the ball. Stolen by Moore. Can he dribble? Not this time. He carried it.
No, we've established that. He can't dribble.
Well, when he came loping out of there at 6'9", I had some wonderment about that.
This Bradley basketball telecast is protected by broadcast rights granted by Bradley University and the Missouri Valley Conference. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or any other use without express written consent of TV 25 and Bradley University is prohibited.
Les walks up this time, and Loyola's pressure is there in half court in the name of Golston. The Ramblers have a set lineup. They've played all the way. Trempy, the first reserve for Bradley.
Interesting matchup on defense. Alfredrick Hughes is looking at Mike Williams.
That's some muscle in there. Hughes is behind Williams on the low box.
Michael's got about 4 inches on him. Here he comes.
Les whips the ball. 18 on the 45-second clock. Inside Williams. 10 minutes to play, first half. Ball poked away. Trempy is stripped on the floor. Who's got it? Percy Hawkins and the Rambler.
And Greg Williams just got a backache the way he went over that pile.
Well, the Rambler player can be fortunate that Williams didn't fall on him. Now Winter's going to come back for the Braves. This ball will belong to Loyola on the alternate possession. Pretty good house here tonight, and it's a pretty enthusiastic one, too. You get the feel that Bradley makes a run, this place will erupt.
All right, right now, Bradley on defense, in essence, has 3 guards. Trevor Trimpey may look tall, but he's a guard through and through.
The Loyola bench, that's Doug Bruno, the assistant. He coached the Chicago Hustle, believe it or not.
The long gone Chicago Hustle.
Greg Williams comes up. Bradley sits in the zone with Percy Hawkins at the front. Loyola's just shot well. Bradley's defense hasn't been bad. Moore's in the wing left. Inside Williams for a layup. Nice play by the Ramblers.
Good quick passing. Went back across the lane and then inside to Williams.
Bradley needs a hoop now. It's 20-12, and they just took too long getting it inbounds. And right now the momentum is all Loyola. The Braves need a run.
And ironically, against this quick team, it's been a very deliberate building of the lead by Loyola. They lead by 8 right now, and really haven't noticed it. Not a big spurt like usual.
Their biggest advantage right here. 9:25 to play, first half. You see they have a very good look there at the Bradley zone, packed in pretty well. Loyola's worked against it. Williams tries again, good again, and Bradley's down by 10.
Well, Williams is the one player on this team who's not supposed to do that. He's only averaging 5 a game.
Excuse me, Mike, a foul on the backcourt on Golston. And Williams has got almost his average now. First foul on Golston. And Bradley would be well served to get a few fouls on the key Ramblers. We'll find out what kind of depth they got. You know Klusendorf can play a little bit. Nathan Brooks, Mike Senar. Les is free. They sink on him. They punch the ball in and then back out. Boise Winters sets the block.
Now Alfredrick's guarding Boise.
Hughes sinks on the defense a little bit. Bradley being deliberate. Inside to Boise. Foul on Hughes. Good idea. Boise stuck it in over him too late. But that's a foul on Hughes, his first and the third on the Ramblers.
Gene Sullivan claims Alfredrick's not a bad defensive player, but then again, some people claim Gene Sullivan's not a very good defensive coach, so I don't know how much that goes for. It doesn't matter a whole lot. They just want Alfredrick in there to play some defense and get him the points.
Alfredrick got taken to the cleaners on defense when he was a freshman, when David Thirdkill held him to 1 for 21. That's about what I shot. 8:47 in the first half. Bradley needs a basket. They've been frozen on 12 for a little while.
I thought you got that garbage can out of your office. You're not doing that anymore.
I love to shoot, just can't. Jimmy Les way out. Look how far out the Bradley offense is. Now the double low post. And Hersey Hawkins breaks out of it. They go to Winters again. Turnaround one-hander is no. Another foul on Hughes. 2 in a row. And that's a good idea if you're a Bradley fan.
Very intelligent working of the court. While we've been talking about Boise Winters as a perimeter player, he is still 6'8". He still has a lot of muscle, and he's got 3 inches on Alfredrick Hughes. And watch, Alfredrick did his best, but got him low.
Now Winters will go to the free throw line, and my memory is that Bradley's tried 1 free throw in the game. And that was by Mike Williams, which was a miss. It's one thing Bradley doesn't do as much as Dick Versace would like it to do, get to the free throw line.
Yeah, it's been a bad problem in past years. A couple of years ago, they were last in the Valley by far. Last year, it improved a little bit more. And this year, he expects, with Mike Williams and Derek Parks and Boise Winters, that they should go a lot more.
Winters is 1 for 1. He has 5. Bradley's 9 down. Still the zone. Loyola probably will not bring Bradley out of the zone with the luck they've had against it thus far. Williams is at the point. They've got their shooters on the wings. They run Battle through to the right. Against a man-to-man, Golston will play the point. Andre Battle. And look at Hughes muscle that ball. Tip by Loyola, rebound Bradley. Parks got that one. And Derek's been silent so far in this game.
That time the zone kind of sagged inside, and Battle found a little bit of a crease. They're not going to be able to let him have 17, 18 footers because he can hit them.
Boise Winters is on the wing right. Parks now goes inside, and so does Trempy. I think Trempy is going to be out there to pass the ball inside. Let's see. Not this time.
Trevor's 6'7". He can look inside over Williams.
He skipped the ball to Hawkins. Now Parks. Blocked by Moore. Taken down by the Ramblers. They run. They look good tonight. 7.5 minutes to go in the first half, and Bradley's only scored 13. Alfredrick again. Good again. He has 10. He's something.
You got to give credit to Loyola. They are being very patient, something a lot of us didn't think they could be.
63% the first half the first time they played, and they're doing it again. Now Mike Williams is going to come in for Bradley.
Got a foul on Battle on that play.
Now there's a timeout on the court. The score is Bradley down 24-13, but stay with us. A long time to go. We'll be right back.
Here they are, lottery fans, the 50s, the 100s, the thousands. Yes, the team that makes up the $1 million grand prize and Moolah Instant Lottery heads off through Illinois in search of a winner. And with a little luck, all that moolah could be yours. So remember, you could win $1 million cash paid all at once in Moolah Instant Lottery.
Looking for a new car? Come to Pekin, where the Pekin new car dealers have nearly 800 new cars within just a few minutes of one another. This is the largest group of dealers to organize in central Illinois. And together, they bring you the lowest prices. You can't buy a car for less than in Pekin. Their tradition of excellent service ensures that you won't be forgotten after the sale. The Pekin new car dealers. Easy access just off 474 and plenty of parking. And right now, register to win $1,000 at any of the Pekin new car dealers. Why would you want to go anywhere else?
Taxi, weekdays at 4:30 on TV 25.
The wave at the Peoria Civic Center Arena. And Mike, I don't think anybody's drowned, but they're having fun.
It's a good start. A big day for the NFL tomorrow on TV 25 at 11:30. NFL 84 brings you up to date on the playoff picture. Then at noon, it's Bills-Bengals live from Cincinnati. At 3, the game everyone will be watching. Pittsburgh at the Los Angeles Raiders. The NFL plays here tomorrow on your sports station, TV 25. That'll settle the Central Division picture in the AFC.
Indeed. And in football today, Denver a big winner over Seattle. That was a tough game. Denver played well. And Loyola's playing well right now against Bradley. Now Hughes is guarding Williams. He's guarded everybody but an usher. 21 on the shot clock.
Some people have accused him of.
Here's a ball slapped out of Parks' hands. Golston in the front. Comes down, stops, and runs it up. Carl Golston with radar, and Dick Versace wants another timeout immediately. 6:43 to go, and it's getting away from Bradley right now. We'll come back in just a moment. Stay with us.
going places. GP Transits, we're going places. How about you? We're saving gas and we're saving money. We're GPT and we're coming through. People on the go are getting there. People always know we take good care. We're going places. GP Transits, we're going places. GP Transit and you.
Wallace presents 20 Christmas gifts from Apple you'll want to return this year. Buy an Apple IIc or IIe and we'll give you 20 certificates that can save you over $300 on software and accessories to expand your system. Things like a printer, a modem, even an Apple mouse. Plus, upon approval, we'll even give you an Apple credit card with no money down, no payments till February 1985. So come to the leader, Wallace Micromart, and make this the best Christmas ever.
Entertainment this week, Sunday nights at 10:30 on TV 25.
You see the score, and it's the Ramblers of Loyola with the hot hand, Mike, and they're burning the nets. They've got 13 out of 23 unofficially.
Well, Loyola hasn't shot like that ever since the last Bradley game, unfortunately. They're shooting 45% from the field. Against Bradley in the first game, they shot 53%. Somewhere along the way, we're giving these guys shots that they normally don't hit. Granted, this is not Oklahoma or Marquette or LSU. They shouldn't hit like that.
They still keep the pressure on Bradley, and the one thing that surprises me is Bradley's having a lot of difficulty scoring. We'll see if they can correct that now. Still 6.5 to play in the first half, so a long time to go. Williams turns and shoots. He missed from point blank. Tipped by Bradley once, and a whistle. Ball hit the clock after a Bradley player hit it on a rebound out of bounds to the Ramblers.
But the Braves hit the boards very aggressively there after the Williams shot. Hersey Hawkins was there, Winters was there. Just a matter of just somebody getting it off the fingertips.
Bradley's only used 6 players, Loyola only 5, and they have a much better team with Andre Moore in the middle.
Now we go back to the man.
Hughes, he's almost a cinch to shoot. Here he comes, and there's his shot right in. He is just one great offensive player. He's got a dozen. Bradley's 15 down and has a mountain to climb at home. Boise Winters inside now out. The defense by the Ramblers is particularly good. Bradley is frustrated offensively. Boise takes the ball to the basket and scores.
Well, there's the start. Just a regular good one-on-one move by Boise. He's got 7 tonight.
And that's almost half of Bradley's points. Maybe they ought to keep feeding him. There's the score. Golston shoots it up there. He won't miss. They are absolutely on fire.
The man-to-man just is not going to work. That's the kind of stuff Golston was doing in game 1, and he just sent Jimmy Les to the cleaners.
Now Bradley down 30 to 15 at the 5:18 mark. Need a run. What Bradley needs to do is stop Loyola 3 or 4 times in a row. What a fight going on between Hughes and Williams, and it would be significant if Hughes could get his 3rd foul. I think I'd have a tendency to take the ball to him. Nick Parks goes in and missed the layup.
Nick Versace complaining about Loyola being on the back.
Here's a lob to the goal and a nice rebound by Hawkins. Bradley runs. Whistle and a foul on Golston. It's on Golston, I think. He's got a deuce. Yes.
Boy, Alfrederick Hughes thought it was on him, and boy, was he scared. See what you think coming up. Jimmy Les runs into both. Alfrederick made a swipe at him, but apparently didn't get anything, and they give it to Golston, and that's definitely to the benefit of Loyola. That would have been 4 on Alfrederick.
5 team fouls against the Ramblers. Bradley looks to score. Hawkins is outside. Lob inside Parks, up and down, too hard. Parks having trouble inside getting the ball in the basket.
Just not falling, and you almost wonder as if Derek is having some problem with that band, maybe with vision.
Ironically, Bradley is missing short shots and Loyola's making long ones. Golston fouled by Les. That's the 2nd on Jim. The 3rd team foul on Bradley, 2 of them against Jim Les, and Bradley could sorely afford to get 3 on their point guard in the first half.
And they especially cannot afford it because the man who would be the backup, Tim Bankston's on the bench with an injury. Matter of fact, he might miss the entire season. Dick Versace is contemplating redshirting him.
Here's a whistle. Looked like a violation inside away from the ball, and it's a foul, I think, on Boise Winters. No, it isn't. It's on Greg Williams. foul is on Williams of Loyola. The next foul will put Bradley into the bonus. Braves are down 15 with 4:13 to play in the first half, and Loyola presses all over. It's hurt Bradley.
We should mention a high school score. Pekin is leading Springfield Lanphier at halftime. What a great game we got to do last night with Pekin and Manuel.
That was a beauty. You guys had some excitement. Had a good game.
Watch Hughes and Williams. They're going at it inside.
I'm a little surprised that there's that much bouncing in there without anything happening. So far, the players have kept their heads, but there's very physical inside.
We would be remiss if we did not talk about our sponsors tonight: Toyota, GP Transit, and the Pekin New Car Dealers. We thank all of you.
The ball is to Parks on the left. They sink off of him. They'll let him take that shot. He doesn't. Jimmy Les lobs inside. Mike Williams. He should be free. He is.
That timeout, Frederick Hughes gambled, went for the steal and missed, and Mike had a clear route to the basket.
That's 6 for Williams. You can just sense the Bradley crowd wants to let it fly, but it's not happening. 30-17 in the first half. Golston's been a handful. Stutter step and walk on Moore. You don't want him with the ball outside if you're Loyola.
All right, let's see on this possession if Bradley once again looks inside to Williams and try to get that fourth foul on Al Frederick.
And Bradley needs the ball handling skills of Les here. 3-on-2 against Bradley. Williams is slow coming up.
Now Hersey Hawkins is in the post.
I wonder if Parks and Williams are a little tired against his press. Hawkins outside.
Look at him.
Les, he's got a free shot. Good. First goal by Jim. 30-19. Bradley climbs back within 11.
That would help. Jimmy Les is only shooting about 39% from the field. He's a better shooter than that.
He lit it up against, was it Temple? There's the shot by Moore outside. That's not a good shot for him. And rebound by Winters. Bradley looks to score again. They could cut it to 9. And that would be a momentum shot. Williams inside. Turns, steps in, toe.
Now, there was a power move by Mike Williams.
8 points for Williams. Bradley within 9. Timeout Loyola. And the crowd has come to life. And we'll take a look at it.
So has Mike Williams. You just saw that gleam in his eye, a gleam that we saw in the second half against Loyola. He had 3 Loyola players around him there, and he just took that one soft, low dribble to the basket. Here, you look for yourself. Look at the defense sag around him, and Mike just goes to work. He knows Hughes has those 3 fouls on him. He knew he had to take the initiative, and he got it done. And now Bradley is within 9, and there's still 2:33 to go. They've turned that wave around.
Bradley was down by 17 and have cut 8 off of it. And Gene Sullivan having some words with his Ramblers. And there's a factor here in the game, and it's this. There's no subs playing. It's full court press, and whoever can keep their stamina the longest might prevail.
This is basically what Dick Versace did at Furman also. That win on the road they got this week. Trevor Trimpe, as he did tonight, came off the bench and helped a little bit, but that was really about it. He went with his starting 5.
There would be players that would play for Bradley if this wasn't a pressure game on the defense. Powell might play, Thomas might play, but they need somebody to handle the ball. That's why Bankston would be in. Bertolini is not eligible yet, and you might see Jerome Childs in this game to spell Jim Les, or maybe even compliment him.
We might get back to Tim Bankston. We talked about it a little bit before. He's got that injury, that leg injury, that's giving him problems. Dick Versace told me the other day, it's the kind of injury that might take 2 months to heal, as you see some guys having a good time here. So anyway, Dick is not going to have to make a decision on whether or not to redshirt Tim Bankston until maybe about the 13th game. If he has not played 6 and he is eligible for it, and Dick says they might take it down to that date, the 13th game, before they make a decision. Just have to see how the injury comes along.
Another guy that could get in this game and who's helped Bradley off the bench recently is Bruce Mordini. He's got some bulk and he can score.
He had a good game against Furman. He came in. We didn't mention him, but he had 5 points against Furman and hit a couple of jumpers.
He's 6'7.5" and 215, and we'll watch that. All right, play back in. 2.5 minutes to go, first half. Bradley's down by 9. Loyola called timeout to stop Bradley momentum, and Loyola is going to pull Bradley outside and then take him inside. Hawkins rejected it. Winters has it. Bradley. Hersey Hawkins, who has ropes for arms, went and got it. Boise Winters. Parks is fouled.
I think they got Williams. Wow, how about the other end and Hersey Hawkins?
Oh, spectacular play by Hawkins.
You're going to watch a 42-inch vertical leap go to work here. Now this is the other end, isn't it?
That's the ball and the foul on Williams.
Not much of anything toward the end. Gene Sullivan is cussing about the whole thing. He didn't like either end.
Parks knocks it in. Bradley is within 8. The scoreboard doesn't record it. There's Derek Parks. Gary, Indiana sophomore, knocks that in. Bradley within 7 and coming.
He'll stick to the man-to-man. Jimmy Les is getting a workout staying with Carl Golston.
It was 30-13. It's 30-23 as Bradley runs 10. Battle shoots. Bradley rebounds and Winters is hot.
And now Loyola has gone cold.
Now Jim Les calls the play. The crowd's in the game. Parks looks inside. Winters wants the ball. You can just see Boise with a little fire in the eye now. Les looks over the court.
Boise's got 5 inches on Greg Williams. That's why they want him in that post.
They set the low block. And it's Parks with it at the top. Hawkins, he can shoot from out there and doesn't. We're down to 1:20 in the first half. 10 seconds on the 45-second clock. Bradley's using a lot of time. Down to 7. Crowd murmurs. 5. They have to shoot within 3 and do. Tipped up. Loyola rebounds and runs. It's 3-on-1 against Bradley. Good play, and Golston missed. And the ball's loose, and Les knocked it away. Under a minute. Bradley will have to shoot before the last shot.
Good scrappy play by Bradley on both ends. They're keeping the ball alive.
This will be a tight one. The defense has kept the score down, but the energy level is high. Hawkins is outside. 35 on the game clock, 22 on the shot clock. Williams inside is stripped by Williams, and Williams is lucky he didn't get his third.
And remember, Alfrederick Hughes is still out there. He's still guarding Mike Williams, and he still has those 3 fouls. And boy, wouldn't we love to get 4 on him by the end of the half.
There is Parks. 28 seconds in the half. Bradley's down by 7, and they have had the last run of points.
Now they'll run a double stack and get Boise off of it.
Williams sets the post. Down to 4 on the shot. Les. Good! Bradley within 5 at 10 seconds. Loyola will take the last shot. Bradley plays D. A good run by the Braves. Double up on Golston. Shot by Battle. No good. Bradley takes a run at him. And at halftime, it's Loyola 30 and Bradley 25. We'll be back in just a moment.
Now, at Brown's, you can get a professional workout at home with the Total Gym exercise system from West Bend. More than 70 exercises can be performed, and each exercise will get you in better shape. Now you can save $100 at Brown's. The complete system is only $299.88. The Total Gym uses your weight as a resistance factor. You can sit or lie on a comfortable glide board that slides up and down. The glide board can be set at different resistance levels. To trim, tone, and strengthen, get the Total Gym, only $299.88 at Brown's Sporting Goods.
Meet the Weekend Warrior. Every weekend, he's ready to give his all to his favorite sport. The rest of the week, his body pays for it, unless he receives the proper treatment and conditioning. At the Center for Sports Medicine and Health Fitness, we'll put you back in the game. An affiliate of St. Francis Medical Center, our staff has 15 years' experience in treating injuries and conditioning. The Center for Sports Medicine and Health Fitness. We take the pain out of being a weekend warrior.
It's a street you can't find on any map, but now you'll find it right in your own hometown. It's the original Sesame Street live show with Big Bird, Oscar, Cookie Monster, and all your favorite Sesame Street characters live on stage. Come for the singing. Come for the dancing. Come and help solve the missing bird mystery. On Sesame Street, the street where everyone belongs.
Opening night on Sesame Street is WEEK night. All tickets half price.
You know, the business world moves fast. I've found only one publication keeps pace with it every business day. Only this, the Wall Street Journal. Not weekly, not bi-weekly, today's business news today. so you can use it today.
Save $7.50 off the cover price with a subscription to the Wall Street Journal. Order 19 weeks for $39. Phone toll-free 800-647-5555. That's 19 weeks, just $39. And save $7.50. Phone 800-647-5555.
Brand new tales of tantalizing terror, plus a full-length movie thriller. Kill the lights for Tales from the Dark Side. Thriller, tonight at midnight on TV 25.
Tonight's Bradley basketball telecast is brought to you in part by Toyota. Oh, what a feeling. GP Transit, your passport to Peoria. And by the Pekin New Car Dealers.
Getting a good return on your investment doesn't have to be a gamble. Compare Toyota value. After 1 year, Toyotas overall retain their value better than one-year-old Nissans or Chevys or Fords. A year-old Toyota Camry can be worth over 10% more now than its original sticker. That's better than some savings accounts. The more you compare, the more you'll see. It's Toyota, not the other guys.
So, did you tell him about Park and Ride?
Sure, I told him. 4 locations. Get off at the Civic Center front door.
Did you tell him about the Passport discount card?
I told him 20 rides, 50 discounts, good all over town.
Well, doesn't he want to save money going to work? I mean, that's money he could spend on you.
Says he doesn't know which bus to take.
Have him call the office at 676-4040.
Hey, it's just like when I tell him about my high water pressure. He doesn't care.
Take it easy. I'll call you a tow.
Thanks.
The latest country music news, plus top-name artists performing their latest hits. This Week in Country Music, Sunday nights at 11:30 on TV 25.
The Civic Center Arena now, because it was 30-13 Loyola, and it was a little bit quiet in here, Mike. But now, with Bradley's run of a dozen in a row, the atmosphere's back. The bench for Bradley, you could see the intensity come back, and it looks like it's going to be Bradley's baseline against Loyola's perimeter game. Who will win?
In that last 12 points, we saw a big change. Mike Williams really coming alive. I thought that one shot when he got the three-point play and went to the basket really kind of turned the complexion of this game around. You could just feel the shift go to Bradley then. Check out how many Mike has in the first half so far. He's got 8 points. Boise Winters has 7. One thing we'll have to look at early in the second half, can he get Alfrederick Hughes out of this game? Alfrederick had 3, still played pretty tough defense, and didn't get that 4th foul in the first half. But as you mentioned, I do think it'll make a difference. Can they continue to look at inside? And we've got a lot of decisions to make in the second half. We, of course, for the first time, have the Brown Sporting Goods Player of the Game. And will it be Mike Williams? Will it be Boise Winters? Jimmy Les is playing a pretty good floor game. We'll have to see.
Maybe it'll be the guy that makes the shot at the gun.
Could be.
Well, speaking of Bradley University, we have a highlight for you up from there now, and let's join a feature on the hilltop.
Bradley is fortunate to have many friends who believe in the university. But of all its friends, the parents of Bradley's students represent one of its strongest constituencies. Every parent is a member of Bradley's Parents Association, an organization which was started in 1946. Since that time, Bradley's Parents Association has supported projects to beautify the walkway to Bradley Hall, enhance the lounge in the Student Center, and the exteriors of the Student Center, bookstore, and Hostler Hall. Most recently, the Parents Association adopted a project to enhance the Cullum Davis Library. Since 1983, over $20,000 has been used to purchase books and terminals for the online circulation system. Participation in Parents Weekend each spring and fall is another expression of their involvement in campus activities. Parents Weekend provides them with an opportunity to experience campus life, enjoy the many cultural programs available on campus, and enter into dialogue with Bradley faculty and administration. For all that Bradley parents have done for the university, it's gratifying to hear them voice their satisfaction with the university and with the quality of education their children have received at commencement. After 4 long years of sacrifice and hard work for both student and parent, here's what some Bradley parents had to say about their children's Bradley experience.
The investment here is an investment that has been well made in terms of not only an educational opportunity and learning experience, but also an opportunity to meet a great deal of other students and to associate with them. I think my daughter has developed some friendships that are going to last a lifetime.
She actually thinks it's been a fantastic experience, and I think that's because it's been so well-rounded. The promise became a reality. From the day of orientation, which doesn't seem like 4 years ago, what was promised to us had integrity to it. And I think she's had a marvelous experience in and out of classes.
Bradley University has indeed been blessed by the support parents have given it. It expresses their confidence in the institution and strengthens the university's commitment to meeting the needs of the individual students.
All right, Loyola leads Bradley 30-25 here at the Civic Center. Arlie Hall has been keeping an eye on this game and everything else going on in sports. Let's throw it to Lee now for a 25 sports update.
Thank you very much, Mike. The month-long wait for the Braves and Coach Dick Versace is over. They've been looking forward to evening things up with Loyola since their first game in November, and it looks like for Bradley they don't need a whole lot more time. Braves stay close in the early going by taking the ball inside. Mike Williams with the double pump coming up right here from the baseline. He scored 20 in the first Loyola game and has 8 in the first half of this one. They pull within 2 right here. Jimmy Less to Hersey Hawkins on the break for the inside layup. Loyola's been waiting for Bradley, too. Looks like the ice must keep the basketball floor pretty cold down at the Civic Center. Alfrederick Hughes wins this battle underneath, and the Ramblers start to pull away. They get some outside help, too, hurting the Braves a little bit here. Carl Golston hits from the right wing. Bradley is coming back, though. They trail 30-25 at the half. For some reason, Illinois State likes to keep their fans in suspense. Just when it looked like they were going to run away with one, they let up, and Detroit got back in the game early this afternoon. The Redbirds led by 20 in the second half, blew that lead, and almost blew the game. There's no mystery to Detroit, who had the hot hand in the first half. Brad Duncan scored 14 points off the bench. Second half, Lou Stefanovic took over. He scored 18 points, 14 of them in the second, and Duncan stayed busy, too. A surprise assist to put ISU up by 20. Detroit got close, but the Redbirds improved to 5-1. Other Missouri Valley games going on tonight. Late in the first half, it's Wichita State over Nebraska-Omaha 27-22. Texas A&M and Drake just getting started in Des Moines. Indiana State over Ball State 91-86. Southern a winner over Mississippi Valley State. Arkansas over Tulsa. And going to the top 20, it was Georgetown, a 20-point winner over number 2 DePaul. The Hoyas proved the poll makers right today. Illinois, a big winner over South Carolina State and Champaign. St. Joseph's in Indiana, Kentucky, and Louisville, all night games. Some state schools played earlier today. Northwestern, a winner in 2 overtimes over Northern Illinois, and Iowa, a 60-point winner over Illinois Wesleyan. A tough weekend for Wesleyan. A 1-point loss to Augustana last night and a blowout today in Iowa City. All of the area high school games are just underway. A couple of scores in for you. Pekin leads Springfield 29-15 at the half, and Bergen trails Richwoods by 8 in the second quarter. Frank and Mike will be back with the first half stats coming up in just a minute.
Hey, Mr. Versace, want some kitchen-cooked potato chips?
Nah, no thanks, kid.
But they're the greatest, Mr. Versace, just like your team.
Hey, you're all right, kid.
Thanks, Coach.
Kitchen-cooked potato chips are kettle-cooked for a hearty potato flavor the whole family will enjoy.
And I wouldn't do this commercial if I didn't eat kitchen-cooked potato chips. They're the greatest.
Kitchen-cooked potato chips and snacks, available at your grocer's.
At Herget National Bank's Neighborhood Bank, our friendly officers and tellers are here to help you open a checking or savings account, make loan payments or deposits, all with personal service inside or outside through our convenient drive-ups, plus 24-hour banking available with the answer system. Yes, Herget helpers are involved, helping individuals and businesses with aggressive, innovative answers.
Try the Herget helpers for people and service.
I don't want to grow up.
I'm a Toys R Us kid.
There's a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with.
Jeffrey, guess what we want?
You won ViewMaster's Talking 3D Viewer with Michael Jackson Thriller cartridges, only $28.84. Only $9.97 each for the Showbeam projector with Smurf cartridge. And just $5.97 each for ViewMaster's Cabbage Patch Kids 3D Viewer set with cartridges.
More games, more toys. Oh, boy! I want to be a Toys R Us kid.
Joining us live at halftime here at the Civic Center Arena is the Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs at Bradley University, Dr. John Hitt. And Dr. Hitt, I think it's important that we recognize that these young men are not professionals, and the mission of Bradley University is academics and not athletics.
Yes, it is, Frank, and we really appreciate the understanding that the fans and media in the Peoria area have had about our having to reschedule this game so that the kids could take their finals. That's priority number one. And I want to thank you and Bill and the entire staff at WEK particularly for your understanding of this. As we said earlier, it's very easy to say that you're for academic excellence and that academics come first, but you guys really showed that you mean it, and we thank you a great deal for the very hard efforts I know that you had to expend to reschedule this game.
Well, thank you. You might point out to the fans that are watching us how many final exams were involved in today's move of the game.
Well, we've only got 15 kids involved, but there were 18 exams. Some of them had more than one. So it would have been a major problem for the members of the team.
For sure.
When Dick brought it to my attention, it was clear what ought to be done. The question is, with all the commitments that had been made, could we really do it? And without your help, we couldn't have.
And we also thank Chicago Television because we're sending it back there also.
Yes.
Speaking of the students, Doctor, I noticed that they're now down next to the court. What's your reaction to that?
That's great. I think it brings them more into the game. And, you know, it's their university. They ought to feel part of the game. They ought to be here and be part of it.
Well, we thank you, Dr. Abeg, and the entire staff of Bradley for great cooperation. We enjoy working with you.
Well, same here, Frank. Hope it's a long association.
You bet. That's Dr. John Hitt, the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at Bradley University. And we appreciate his kind words. Of course, he was referring to the fact that this game was originally scheduled for 1 o'clock, and it was moved to 8 o'clock to accommodate the final exams of the teams. The teams are back onto the floor, and the stats are ready for your viewing. They look something like this, with Bradley shooting 48% from the field in the first half, and Loyola matching it. Bradley getting 8 fewer shots, however, and there's free throwing. Bradley got 3 out of 5, or 60%. Loyola didn't try one. The big difference in the first half is rebounding. 19-11 is Loyola's big advantage, and Andre Moore is a factor there with 5 rebounds. In the turnover department, Loyola had 6, and what you didn't see, Bradley had 9. Mike, the first half individual scoring looks like this.
Only 20 points between them. Those 3 players had 75 points against Bradley in the first game. What that probably shows more than anything is the way the tempo has changed in this, and you took a look and saw that Hughes leads with 12 points. Take a look at Bradley now. Their inside game, much more effective than in game 1. Mike Williams with 8 points, probably looking more aggressive on offense than he has in a Bradley uniform. Boise Winters with 7, give him some from the outside and a couple inside. Jimmy Les with 4, Percy Hawkins with 4, that's down a little bit from his average of about 15 a game, and Derek Parks with only 2. But you can see one thing, none of the Bradley players so far are in foul trouble.
2 players to keep an eye on. Battle was only 1 out of 7 in the first half, and for Bradley, Derek Parks was 0 for 4, and you can see that the fans are really looking forward to this second half.
And one other thing that we should change, we were talking for most of the second half, or first half rather, that Alfrederick Hughes had 3 fouls. We've been corrected. That is only 2 fouls. That accounts for why he was still playing to tough defense and bumping with Mike Williams. And as we've mentioned throughout the game, we will have something to do through the second half, and that's look at who will be the Browns Sporting Goods Bradley Player of the Game. Browns, of course, will be making a donation to Bradley University in the name of the young man selected as the Bradley Player of the Game. You and I will make that decision. If we can't decide, we'll let our producer, John Duchesne, take care of it.
Okay. I'll tell you what, the first time these 2 teams played, the score at halftime was 58-38 in favor of Loyola and their Gene Sullivan. This time it's 30-25, so the 2 teams score 3 points less than Loyola scored by themselves the first time these teams played. And I think that the 98 points, the most ever scored against the Dick Versace team at Bradley, is sticking in the craw of the Bradley players, and they're bound and determined to do a little better this time.
We'll have to check, but I don't believe Loyola has had as few as 30 points at halftime this season. Even in a loss like they had to Oklahoma, they had 82 points in a loss to Oklahoma. Yes, which they lost 115 to 82 down there in Norman.
They've played great competition, as we've mentioned. LSU is one of America's best basketball teams. Oklahoma is too, and playing at Marquette is no easy task. And Kansas State got that job done today in a miracle finish, 55-54, when a Marquette player missed a 1-and-1 after time had expired in a really remarkable basketball game. Ah, yes, you can't beat fun at the old ballpark.
Boy, he's having fun, huh?
I guess. And Mike, by the way, nice job on your live interview with Rick Sutcliffe. And I know all the Cub fans in the area are thrilled that we talked about it the last time. And he's back in the Cub fold.
We mentioned that night. The man's going to be making $10 million over the next 5 years. But he is a very nice man and very humble person. Not just with us, but I was watching him talk to a lot of the Cub fans, some of whom at the time weren't sure he was going to stay a Cub. But I know all the Cub people are very happy to have him back.
And speaking of nice people, our sponsors for tonight's telecast include Toyota, GP Transit, and Pekin New Car Dealers, and we thank all of them. And we hope that you'll patronize the sponsors and say thanks for bringing Bradley basketball to you. We're set for the second half of play. 30-25, the Ramblers in the maroon leading the Braves in white, and Bradley starts with the ball.
Let's look at some of the defensive matchups inside. It appears Alfrederick Hughes again will be trying to guard Mike Williams. He's fronting him right now.
How could Bradley continue their string of points? Into Williams. Backward shot doesn't go.
Not a bad try.
He got in real far. Hawkins got him the ball, and he flipped it up backwards. It wouldn't go down. Now, Derek Parks has taken off his band. The shot is up and down and no good, and Bradley going to the board. Hughes and Winters. And that was a real rebound.
And that's going to stay on the Loyola end because of the jump ball.
All right, the possession switches. And it's Ramblers this time. Now Bradley plays defense. It's a matchup zone. Let's see, inside the ball. Blocked by Hawkins again. That's 2 blocks out of 3 shots against Loyola.
Carl Golston didn't have a chance. I'm not even sure the ball got out of his hands.
Percy Hawkins with great court awareness. Golston now goes against Les. Bradley down by 5. Whole half to play. Greg Williams punches it into Alfrederick. Missed. Ball loose. Les stripped it away, out of bounds. Nope, jump ball. It'll be Bradley's ball this time.
Gene Sullivan's real happy about that. He got up and looked at the official and said, make up your mind.
And Doug Bruno, one of his assistant coaches, did a little dance down the sidelines. Well, some performances are about to unfold here in the second half. Jim Les. And for every great performance, here's a whistle and a foul on Bradley. And somebody talked somebody into something. Foul on Mike Williams. They're banging down low.
I was just about to say it. I didn't get a chance to since they called the foul so quickly. By the way, that's Mike's first personal foul. But watch throughout the second half the matchup. Williams and Hughes, they are really going at each other when Bradley's got the ball.
Okay. Out of the corner comes Andre Battle, and he's 1 for 1 after being 1 for 7. Bradley can't afford to let him get hot because he's something special as a shooter. There's the score. Just started the second half. Frank Bassoni and Mike Dimmick on WEK TV 25 in Peoria. Parks comes outside, and they sink away from him. They will let him shoot out there. Les is covered up, and a whistle down low again. Foul on Williams of Loyola. His third, guarding Boise Winters. And I think if Bradley keeps punching the ball into Winters, they'll get a lot of fouls on the Ramblers.
They're trying to diversify their post game, not limited to Mike Williams, and also get Boise into the game on the other end.
Boise's quicker than Williams, of course. Parks goes down low now. Bradley sets up a double low post, a stack with Williams and Winters. Here's Williams. Look at the rebound battle. Bradley ball.
Frank, what that's doing with a double stack on the weak side, that's giving Mike Williams basically one-on-one on Alfrederick Hughes. If he can get by him, he's got a clear route to the basket.
Les triggering. It's only the second time since 77-78 Bradley's played a non-conference opponent twice in 1 year. That year they played DePaul twice. This time it's the Ramblers, and Bradley looking to come back. Inside Hawkins, how'd he get the ball in the trees? Ball's on the floor again, and we're going to have another jump ball. This will be Loyola's possession. I've never seen so many tied-up basketballs down there.
Yeah, how many times have we seen the ball banging off ankles and guys going to the floor? Dick Versace didn't believe that, by the way. He screamed. He saw a hack.
Bradley hasn't scored in this half. Loyola's got 2. They have a 7-point advantage. Andre Moore low. That's huge. He's free, and he missed. And the tip by Loyola twice. A long rebound to the Ramblers. Golston's shot is too long. Bradley's got this one. Bradley runs. Les with Winters. Jimmy, score! I think it counts. There's a foul on the Ramblers. Yes.
Bradley with a 3-on-1. Jimmy Les took a look at the court and decided he'd go up with it. Williams apparently slashing him as he went by. As we have a little bit of confusion on the court as to just what we're going to do here. It looks like we're stacked up at the foul line, isn't it?
That's the 4th foul on Greg Williams.
The referees were doing some talking to Andre Moore, I believe, underneath.
Dick Versace just told Mike Williams to look to score inside. He says, I want you to look to score.
Mike Senard has entered the game now as Williams leads with his 4th foul. A little irony there. Senard had to leave the season for about 4 games because Greg Williams gave him a right and broke his jaw earlier in the season. They're buddies. It was just one of those things that happens in practice. But it proved that you don't mess with Mr. Williams.
3-point play. Jim Les gets Bradley within 4. Les has 7. Senard at 6'5", a sophomore, is in the game. Golston nearly traveled. Les is really working on him now. Golston got free and missed it, and look at Boise. He is really going to the board. Bradley's got the energy level up.
And they still own the boards, just like, or actually they didn't own it in the first half, and now they're beginning to assert themselves.
Boise wants the ball on the low block, foul on Senard, and they can't guard Boise down low.
Senard has got the height. He's only about an inch or 2 smaller than Boise, but he doesn't have the strength.
It's the 3rd team foul on the Ramblers, all trying to stop Boise Winters. And Gene Sullivan says, wait a minute. We may have to put a couple of guys on this one. Bradley could cut it to 2. Parks is free. Loyola has been told, don't guard Parks outside. Percy Hawkins.
There's Boise.
Boise's low. He missed. Bradley's gone to the boards. Whistle. Foul is on Hersey Hawkins of the Braves.
That time Williams and Hawkins both hit the boards pretty hard. Williams coming from the top. They apparently got Hersey low on Alfrederick Hughes.
A great shot for Boise Winters. He simply missed an easy one. But that's a play that Bradley should continue to keep in their playbook. Senar's in the right corner there. Watch them go to Alfrederick Hughes if they can. They need points. Battle shoots. Williams rebound. And Bradley scoops.
Watch Hersey.
Hawkins. Tip. Bradley misses 2. Les, tricky dribble. Great ball control by Les. He's directing the court now. A battle down low. Winters comes this side. Hawkins charging. And Dick Versace wins. 2nd foul in a row on Hawkins.
I'm not sure Hersey exactly saw what he was getting into when he went into the lane.
A whistle and a timeout on the court. 16-10 as we go out. You'll see Hawkins coming. Did he or didn't he? Ooh, was Senard there? We'll talk more when we come back in a minute. Stay with us.
John, you know, it's my business to know about passes, and this clearly is a good one because it doubles as a discount card. Show your passport and get discounts all over town.
Dick, the passport is really a bus pass that makes it easy for you to get around town. And I know something about getting around town.
The passport, it's 2. 2 cards in 1. A 20-ride bus pass and a discount card.
John, did I tell you this is a GMC bus?
What?
Looking for a new car? Come to Pekin, where the Pekin New Car dealers have nearly 800 new cars within just a few minutes of one another. This is the largest group of dealers to organize in Central Illinois, and together they bring you the lowest prices. You can't buy a car for less than in Pekin. Their tradition of excellent service ensures that you won't be forgotten after the sale. The Pekin New Car dealers. Easy access just off 474 and plenty of parking. And right now, register to win $1,000 at any of the Pekin New Car dealers. Why would you want to go anywhere else?
Entertainment this week, Sunday nights at 10:30 on TV 25.
The score shows Bradley down by 4, but the war is real inside.
Hersey Hawkins taking it to Mike Senar, and they claim that was a foul on Hersey. What you don't see is Frank Blaine, our cameraman. That's what we pay him for. I mean, if you can't get the bottom of a guy's shoes, why do you pay a cameraman, right?
That's combat duty for Mr. Blaine along the sidelines.
And he didn't flinch. Thank you, Frank.
The bodies are big that are falling. 16 minutes to play in this game, and Senar shoots from the wing and got it. A shot in the guts for Senar. And his first try goes home and gives Loyola a 6-point lead.
That time Bradley's on the bottom of his feet as he was going up for the jumper.
Parks way late getting up the court for Bradley. Les feeds Williams. Big Mike missed. A lot of arms on the ball. This to Bradley.
And you see all the arms now behind the basket. The Bradley students jumping up anytime something good happens on their end.
The defense in the game has been relentless. The inside play, physical. And the officials are talking up to the people inside. Winters breaks. Boise Winters with good intensity in this game. Jim Les. Watch him go. He comes left. Williams is high now. He can pass. Jim Les breaks in and comes out. Boise wants it. They find Big Mike.
Great look by Hersey Hawkins. He looked like he was going to Boise in the post. Instead, he found Williams slashing across the lane and hitting.
He has 10. Bradley's within 4 again. Trying to cut it further. Inside, Andre Moore off the glass. No. Bradley's rebound to Winters. The tempo is slower, but the intensity is there. Double stack for Bradley. Winters slides one way, Hawkins the other. Hersey may shoot. They punch it down to Derek Parks for 2. Here come the Braves.
4 for Parks, and the patience on offense is just so much better than the end of the first half.
Bradley is within 2, as you see. They sandwich Hughes and strip him. Tough defensive play by the Braves. The ball out of bounds for the Ramblers. Crowd getting a little edgy.
We are almost 6 minutes into the second half. Loyola has scored 4 points.
In the corner, Golston comes. Here's the guy they want with the ball. It's missed. Rebound. Williams of Bradley. The Braves could tie the score. They were 17 down, and they're knocking on the door.
Now here's your action. Hawkins and Winters interchanging.
Boise wants it. He's got it. Williams was hammered, said the Braves. The officials say no. Loyola comes away. Listen to the crowd. Physical brawl inside. Al Frederick again. No. Foul on Bradley. Boise Winters.
Andre Moore had position there, and Boise went either over his back or over his side. In any case, it's a foul.
It's the 4th team foul on the Braves, the 1st on Winters.
Only the 1st on Boise. You caught the tail end of it as they point at him. And Dick Versace, I don't think he's so sure about, I think he's sure about that foul. He wasn't sure about what happened on the other end.
Moore has 4. .46 to go. Bradley down 2. And these 2 teams have played everywhere in Illinois except in the mud and the dark. 3-point Loyola lead.
By the way, Moore might be someone you want to post. He fouled out in 12 minutes the other night against Long Island.
Look up the record. Jimmy Les peers in. Look how far Williams away from the basket. Sends it to Parks. Derek, a fade. Long rebound to the Ramblers. Not a good shot for Parks.
And you can tell Loyola wasn't guarding him very tightly.
And look at the tempo level. Loyola slowed way down from their normal speed. Senar can shoot. Look at Hughes playing the pivot. He's tough. And he's got 14. His first goal of the second half. Bradley's now 5 behind. Have to come back again.
Gene Sullivan, though, has pulled Hughes away from the basket a little bit more. He seems more effective. You get him about 10 or 15 feet away.
Dick Versace just said to Parks, get a better shot. He meant like within 3 feet. Winters missed tip. And the rebound to Andre Moore. And Bradley's gone cold, and here come the Ramblers back. Momentum so important in the game. Traveling on the Ramblers. 12:37 to play. I think this is the longest I've seen Boise Winters play with this level of intensity.
I agree. He has done everything they want him to do. They want to go to the post, and he's kept that aggressiveness in the post, going where he's supposed to go, switching with Hersey Hawkins as he's supposed to.
Williams outside. Winters looks. He could shoot from there. Les directs the team. 25 on the shot clock.
He ran Boise on the baseline that time, trying to get him a jumper.
Loyola's defense is much better than it was earlier in the year. Lob inside. Parks up and down is stripped away and nearly fouled by Battle. Give Battle credit, a good defensive effort.
Good weak side help. Battle wasn't his man. He came over to help Moore.
Now there's Doug Bruno yelling. There's timeout on the court. There's 12:03 to play in a close one. Stay with us. We'll be back in a minute.
Charles wants to fly me to Aruba again.
Oh, really?
Yes, but it's that or the concert reception with Ramon.
Oh, dear.
Of course, Edward says he's going to win the lotto game for me.
Hardly a big deal.
Pardon me, madam, but this Edward fellow wants to win lotto worth millions, and you say big deal?
Millions? I always did admire Edward's style.
Tell me, do I know this Edward?
No?
For 6 straight years, smart car and truck buyers who look for the best value have made Toyota the #1 selling import. But the supply of these best sellers is not always equal to the demand. In the next few days, a good selection of 85 Toyotas will arrive at a dealer near you. Maybe the model you've been looking for, but don't wait. Best sellers have a way of disappearing fast. The more you compare, the more you'll see. It's Toyota, not the other guys.
Mark Strauss, Sports on News 25.
Is Bradley's stamina there? And here comes Derek Parks with that one.
This is more the kind of shot they wanted him to take. Is it a shot or not? That is what Loyola is complaining about during our timeout.
And the crowd does the wave.
Bradley, by the way, will get a new 45 after that.
There's 12 minutes and 3 seconds left, and you see the fans enjoying it. Inside, the ball is bounced off the head of Golston out of bounds. The pass hit Golston on the top of the head.
Which is hard to do as small as he is.
Golston is listed at 5'9". He's not that tall. Either that or Les is taller than 5'11" that he's listed at.
I'm not so sure that's right either.
Baseline Winters, look at him slide across there. He really wants this ball. I think he can score on Senar down there. He's got it. They punch it to Mike Williams. He turns on Hughes, and Hughes fouled him. They finally got the third on Al Frederick.
Bradley is really reading the post nicely tonight. That time they initially tried to find Boise, nothing there, so he swings out and finds Mike Williams. Single coverage on Hughes and just made the turn on him.
Good awareness by Boise Winters of what was happening. He saw Hughes behind Williams on the low post. Got him the ball.
Now Golston's up very high again, trying to pressure Jimmy.
Bradley is 5 down, beats the hoop. Ball's loose, stolen by the Ramblers. Good play, Loyola. Whoa, it came up on Golston. Nobody saw it.
Because he just picked that up, they may have said nothing really happened.
Dribble, fumble, dribble is double dribble. Maybe that wasn't it. Shot by Hughes is missed, and Les goes for the Braves. They're letting a lot of bumping go on both ends. And in some cases, bumping isn't the word for it. Williams is planted against Hughes downstairs. There it is. Williams turns. He puts it up. Look at the battle. Hersey Hawkins is stripped by Battle. Loyola's got outlet pass. Senar comes in. Foul on Les. Two-shot foul. And Bradley's working hard. It's the third foul on Jim. And Loyola has a 5-point lead. Number 5 team foul on the Braves.
This will send Senar to the line. He has not scored tonight, I don't believe. He didn't play against Bradley in that first game. 2 points. Had that jumper, didn't he, after we saw his feet.
And he hasn't missed a free throw this year. Hasn't shot many.
He's still, you can't see it unless you get a real tight shot of him, but he's apparently still got part of his jaw wired up.
Bradley's down by 6. Plenty of time. Now a 7-point Rambler lead. Bradley must answer. Can they mount another surge against the Ramblers? Hughes is guarding Williams, if you can believe it. Alfrederick Hughes playing essentially center in the game. Moore is guarding Parks. Winters wants the ball and wants the ball. Senar is really bumping him.
And Dick wanted a foul there.
Mike Williams turns. He's too far away. Hawkins sets a post. Boy, Loyola's defense is very good, and it's much better than it's been any year that I've seen them. Winters turns and missed it inside, a point-blank layup, and Loyola lost it out of bounds. Good call by the official. He saw it hit the support.
Yep. As soon as it hits that standard in any way, that's out of bounds. Gene Sullivan questioning it as if he doesn't know, huh?
Right. Les.
Watch Boise.
Looking inside. Parks sets it. He's got it down there. He stutter steps and goes in. Rebound Williams. A dozen for Mike. 10 minutes to play. Bradley's down there by 5. Moore's out of his range and proved it. And a whistle and a foul on the rebound against Moore.
Well, if you're Gene Sullivan, you just got to figure that's silly. You got shooters like Alfrederick Hughes and Carl Golston, and you've got a guy like that shooting.
Senar picked up the foul, the 5th on the Ramblers in the half, and Bradley now can trim to 3. What an effort both teams have made here. Parks is in the corner. Bradley has stayed essentially with the same 5. Trempe played a while in the first. Mike Williams turns and missed right inside. Look at Hughes getting the rebound in traffic. Golston, nice pass off the move. Senar missed the pull-up. The ball to Les. Nice anticipation. Hughes got back to protect on defense.
And a good decision by Jimmy Les. Didn't see much happening in front of him, so he just pulled it back.
I think Bradley should get some shots from Boise Winters. Inside Williams. He turns and he's hammered by no, it's Battle.
Loyola again doing some pretty good jobs on defense. As we finally get a backwards look at that, you'll trust us that it was a foul on Andre Battle.
6 team fouls on the Ramblers. That means the next one puts Bradley in the bonus, and there's over 9 minutes left. That's a factor.
How many times has Bradley shot from the outside in this half?
Well, not many.
Remember many.
Not many. Park shot one about 10 feet, and Dick Versailles said we don't want that shot. Look at the pushing inside. Winters. Hersey Hawkins can shoot from there. He missed it. It was partially deflected, and a foul on Mike Williams, who is furious. His second.
Now, what's happening sometimes, Bradley looking to the post so much, they're taking shots they really can't hit. Hersey Hawkins is a magnificent jumper, but he basically tried to shoot that ball over 2 people. Loyola can jump too.
Boise Winters doing some talking on defense. Bradley hawking the ball.
It's still on the man-to-man.
Oh, nice ball handling by Battle. And a great play by Jim Les. It looked like it might have gone off Golston's foot. Loyola keeps it.
Another one of those rat-a-tat-tat plays. Weren't sure whose ankle it went off, but it sure looked like Golden's.
Bradley's 5 down, and they've got to stop the Ramblers if they can. Tulsa was beaten today by Arkansas 70-66. DePaul was buried by Georgetown by 20. Foul on Boise Winters. No, it's on Parks. Let's make it. It's 1 in bonus time. Let's see. Now let's see. Why is Hughes at the line? Now they've got the scoreboard corrected. It is the 17th foul on Bradley. Bonus.
I think Al Frederick's getting ready for the NBA. A little bit of a shake and bake move. You don't see that much in college anymore.
Bradley's held him in. Pretty good check. He's got 15 now, but he averages 10 more than that. He also averages 10 rebounds a game, and I don't think he's a guard in the pros.
No, he will probably be more of a forward swingman, probably.
I know what he is. He's a scorer. He's got Loyola 7 ahead, and Bradley knows what they must do.
Now we'll see if they keep looking into the poster. Maybe they try to open things up with an outside jumper.
Boise Winters punches it into Parks. Parks turns and is fouled by Moore. Bradley is relentless going to the basket.
And now they're in the penalty.
Okay, second foul on Moore. It's 1 in bonus. So it's power basketball on the Braves' end.
As we mentioned earlier, Moore has not really demonstrated much prowess on defense after his game the other night. And it's not surprising that they got him on Derek Parks, who really is not that good of a shooter from the floor.
Parks is now 3 in a row at the foul line. It surprises me that Dave Klusendorf, who is 6 for 6 against Bradley at Chicago, has not been in the game at all. Parks missed that, and it goes off Loyola, but nicely saved by Battle. Bradley is 6 behind. Can they come back and pull this out? Loyola's got a lot of offensive weapons, principally him. Hughes missed. The battle is to Bradley. Less in the middle track. Knocked away by Battle again, and Battle is really tough on D.
He got back and ran the break with Hersey Hawkins, and that's not easy to do. And I think Gene Sullivan wanted that ball to go over to Loyola. He thought it was off Hersey.
It's timeout. It's a hot one yet. We'll be back in just a moment.
Wrap up your Christmas at Cohen's. You can buy all the furniture, carpeting, bedding, and accessories you want at Cohen's and make no down payment, no monthly payments, and pay no interest till March of '85. You can buy a Strata Lounge or Strata Glide recliner in beautiful saddle brown leather matched upholstery for just $5.99. That's an $1,100 value. Other leather matched Strata Loungers from $469. Make no down payment, no monthly payments, and pay no interest till March of '85. Wrap up your Christmas at Cohen's.
Looking for a new car? Come to Pekin, where the Pekin new car dealers have nearly 800 new cars within just a few minutes of one another. This is the largest group of dealers to organize in central Illinois. And together, they bring you the lowest prices. You can't buy a car for less than in Pekin. Their tradition of excellent service ensures that you won't be forgotten after the sale. The Pekin new car dealers. Easy access just off 474 and plenty of parking. And right now, register to win $1,000 at any of the Pekin new car dealers. Why would you want to go anywhere else?
This Week in Country Music, Sunday nights 11:30 on TV 25.
That tells you a lot of the story. The time, 8 minutes exactly, as the Bradley cheerleaders and pep squad trying to put some life into the crowd for a Bradley comeback.
Pretty good crowd tonight. I'm not much at guessing, but I'd say there's probably between 7,500 people here tonight, maybe a little bit better.
I think Bradley's got about 7,000 built in with the season ticket sales and so forth, with just a modest walk-up. So there's probably 7,000 or so here tonight, and there's final exams going on this weekend. There's high school basketball all over the city tonight. And
600 lost in the fog.
That's something. Dick Versace looks on. Bradley stays with the starting 5. Loyola's got Senar in, Williams out. The only change for them. Parks is along the baseline. Bradley is down 6. Boise Winters at the high post now. Will they get him the ball off the high? He slides to the ball. Boy, is he working for the ball. Versace is up talking. Remember, there's a 28-foot coaching line. It's a baseline to the hash mark, and the coaches have to stay in that distance and out of bounds area. Here's a Loyola player almost taking out Coach Versace and some of the Bradley bench. It's Andre Moore at 6'9" and 215. That's the coach's box right there. That's for the Bradley side. They have to stay inside that area. From there all the way to the out-of-bounds baseline.
I'm not sure on that other play if the ball wasn't out on Dick.
Left comes to Boise Winters. He's out there for the shot of the corner, and that's the guy Bradley's got to get the ball to. He's got 9.
There's the outside jumper, maybe trying to spread it out a little bit.
Bradley is within 4. Golston on a nice move into the lane, then throws the pass to Battle, and he fires it in. Battle from outside.
I still think Golston is the guy who makes this offense run. If you get him where he's freewheeling into the lane, he sets up so many different things.
Jim Les. Bradley trying to come back. They just can't string points together here. Hawkins, who's gone all the way. To Winters. He fakes and goes. Les punches it into Parks. He turns. Williams rebounds, steps in for 2.
A great pump fake by Williams. Again, good court awareness, knowing who's around him.
He has 14 in the game at 6:34 to play. A 4-point Rambler lead in the ball. Here's where Al Frederick Hughes comes into play. He missed, but a long rebound, and Loyola got a break. They get another one. A tough break for the Braves that time. They had him boxed out, but the ball went long. Here comes Hughes again. He walked.
And let's credit Derek Parks. He has been guarding Al Frederick Hughes throughout this second half. I'm not sure what his shooting percentage is, but it's not that good. And he did really a pretty good job on him up in Chicago in game 1. Al Frederick had a lot of points, but he didn't shoot that well from the field.
A lot of players with their hands on their hips and knees. That shows fatigue. Boise doing it now. He breaks out of the pack. He's got it. Fakes and shoots. No. Andre Moore with the ball. Big miss there.
Not sure they wanted a shot that fast.
Bradley was within forward at 5:50 to play in the game. An unbelievably low-scoring game for these two teams. The other time they played, 98-80. Golston falls away, bad shot. Rebound, nice position by Williams. 3-on-3 as Les holds it up. Bradley should look to take advantage if they can. Play call by the Braves. They exchange. Les can shoot that. Parks look. 25 on the shot clock. Percy Hawkins is on a low post left. Williams doing, there's the shot by Parks, not a good one. He does rebound and miss again. Rebound bounces right to Loyola. Not a good play by Bradley.
Well, that Derek Parks isn't supposed to be out there dribbling.
Oh, Hughes gets fouled from behind, and he goes into the crowd. And how he quickly grabbed the rope and got under it, I'll never know.
I think what happened here is Al Frederick saw all those millions of dollars he's planning on making in the NBA flashing before his eyes, and he said, I better save myself.
Bradley just called timeout with 5:01 to play. It's still a contest, a 4-point game. Back in a minute.
We're going places, GP Transits. We're going places. How about you? We're saving gas and we're saving money. We're GPT and we're coming through. People on the go are getting there. People always know we take good care. We're going places, GP Transits. We're going places, GP Transit and you.
39. That's how many beautiful 84 vans we've got left at our gold medal Chevy sale at Strickland Chevrolet. These are the largest discounts ever offered anywhere at fantastic 10.9% financing on vans with real luxury options. We've got brand new 85s in stock with hundreds more coming, but we've got to move the 84s out. We're going to do whatever we have to do to move them, and you cash in on the big values. So hurry to Strickland Chevrolet's gold medal van sale now and save.
Tales from the Dark Side thriller tonight at midnight on TV 25.
the turning basketball and the turning fortunes of college basketball, as the lead belongs to the Ramblers by 4. But Bradley certainly has a chance with 5 minutes to play, Mike.
And we have to have some thoughts spinning in our head as to who's going to be the Browns' Bradley player of the game. During the timeout, we were kicking around some names. Boise Winters, in a way, has controlled the way this game has gone on offense. Bradley has looked for him a lot inside. Boise's had some trouble, though, in the past 5 minutes hitting the shot. Mike Williams has 14 tonight, and he's done a great job of scooping up a lot of loose balls and hitting the jumper.
There come the Braves. They're starting 5. Remember, Tim Bankston is not even dressed tonight with his injury. Bertolini is not available, and Bradley has only used Trevor Trempe for a few moments. No one else has played, and at the foul line is the leading scorer in the game, Alfredrick Hughes, with 16. Could he miss? All net.
He's about 61% for the year.
That's probably because he hasn't shot that many. I think as he shoots more, that percentage will go up. I'd bet on him more times than 6 of 10. He missed that. And the long rebound of the Ramblers. Les goes to the floor. You see on the screen it's a jump ball, and it's Bradley's possession. And oh, Jimmy Les got a little hot under the collar. The Bradley kids come off the bench. Jimmy Les got mad at maybe Battle, I'm not sure.
It's either Battle or Moore.
Doug Bruno got out there in a hurry there in the blue shirt. But that just goes to show you how much intensity there is in the game. Battle's trying to say to Jim Les, now I didn't mean anything.
Well, apparently something happened in that scramble. Jimmy might have got poked in the eye, something like that. It gets very intense when you get out on the court like that.
Well, this game means a lot to both teams. Very important. Bradley doesn't lose many in this building. They've won 27 out of 33 games played here. And they need, that's a violation by Williams. He dropped the ball, taking it inbounds. And Dick Versace just turned to the bench and said, do you believe that?
Well, that's just a silly mistake. Dick Versace says in the past, one of the things Mike Williams has to get over, and a lot of this is because he hasn't played basketball in 2 years, is that intensity every moment, not making those little mistakes. He's done it a few times, and he's just going to have to get used to playing basketball again.
Here's a whistle and a foul on Les, I believe. Let's see. They'll probably try to clean this up now. If that's on Les, it's 4. It is. Now that probably is a result of the, let's see it.
Jimmy and Carl Golson are doing the basketball version of bump and run all night. And as in the case of football, sometimes they catch both sides, and they just got Jimmy there for initiating the contact.
We mentioned earlier they were letting a lot of it go, and that sometimes is what happens. Now, I prefer a game where there's not a lot of whistles personally.
And the one thing coaches will ask, if you want to call it from the start and stick with it. If you're not going to do it in the first half, don't start doing it in the final 5 minutes. My players can't get used to that.
91% foul shooting. Golston missed, but Bradley fouled again. Mike Williams this time. And Bradley hasn't exactly gotten the home court call many times tonight. 44-39 Loyola.
Now they might be in a little bit of foul jeopardy if this keeps up with 4:51 to go.
There's still time for the Braves, but now it's Hughes at the line. He shoots, and he missed. He's got 68 games in a row in double figures. This makes 69. Bradley could get the lead within 3 with a basket. And boy, do they need it here. Who will they go to?
Hughes and Williams bumping.
Hawkins, yes! The Braves within 3, 6 for Hersey.
It's way under his average so far. He's averaging 15.4.
A cool customer. Moore shot is down. Andre Moore took a shot Bradley wanted him to take, and all he did was sock it in.
That's clutch. I don't think he's hit a basket since early in the game.
5-point lead reestablished by the running Ramblers. There's the post up inside. Hughes really hand fighting Williams, and there's a foul, and it's on Williams.
All right, they were going at it. This was a case of catching the one that Mike Williams threw. That's 4 fouls on Big Mike, and I saw it right in front of us. And watch, He caught Al Frederick with an elbow.
The first one there was Hughes. They didn't see that.
There it is right there. He caught with that elbow to the temple, and that's what the referees saw.
And into the game, freshman Donald Powell at 6'8", 215. Williams gets a rest. I think he'll be right back in.
Wow, Hughes and Williams have got to have some bruises when this one's all over. They do that kind of stuff every time they come down the court.
Hughes is mighty, mighty strong. And he just keeps living at the foul line. He's 3 out of 5. Missed another one. Who's got it? Loyola again on a long rebound. They are just killing Bradley on the long rebound. Here comes Al Frederick with the ball. Under 4 minutes left. Bradley's 5 behind. Look at Loyola, going to spread it out. It's a 1-4 set. Senar's got a free one. Bang.
Changed up on Bradley a little bit, and nobody came out to contest Senar. He's a pretty good outside shooter.
And he got in, and Greg Williams never got back in. Boise wants the ball inside, and they can't go to him, and now do, and he's there for a deuce.
Nice soft touch by Boise. A little tiptoe jumper.
A dozen for Winters. And he might be the Bradley player of the game. But what's important to the Braves now is to try to pull this out. Loyola says timeout. 3:18 to play in the game. And Mike, let's keep it here.
Interesting timeout by Gene Sullivan, huh? He's one of the proponents of just run and gun. He's going to go ahead and play along with the tempo of this game. You're going to keep it down. I'll go ahead and play it, and we'll talk about it and see if we can set up some open shots.
The most coaching we've seen Gene Sullivan do in his career at Loyola is this year. And there's Dick Versace, and he's just saying right now, don't give up. I think I understood him to say. And you probably heard his voice there in the background also, as we have our camera into the huddle of the Bradley Braves. And you can see that Dick Versace really wants his charges to pump up. And he just said to Williams, you too.
Well, you look at the face of some of these players. They're tired. Some of these guys have been playing nearly 40 minutes tonight when it's all said and done. Of course, we'll be picking one of them as the Browns Sporting Goods Bradley Player of the Game. And as we mentioned, Browns will be making a donation to Bradley University in the name of the young man selected as the Bradley Player of the Game. I guess right now it's a bit of a toss-up. We'll have to wait and see what happens in the last 3 minutes as to what Mike Williams and Boise Winters do down the stretch.
Mike, this game is a toss-up, even though the Ramblers have the hammer with a 5-point lead. There is no question, but what Bradley could turn this thing around if Loyola can miss a couple of clutch shots and Bradley hit a couple. It's all it would take, but who knows what will happen as we turn down to this. I'm impressed with Loyola. I did not think they would play this well tonight.
Be sure to stick around with us tonight at 10 o'clock or whenever our game ends for the weekend edition of News 25 with Mary Ann Bergerson, Al Knifo, Kathy Wyman has the weather, and Mark Strauss with sports. You can't be well informed if you're not informed well, so don't miss News 25 tonight after the game.
All right, you're looking at Andre Battle, who will throw the ball in for the Ramblers. Bradley trying to shut everything down, man-to-man all over the court. And this is where the Ramblers are really tough.
Switch now. Hersey Hawkins guarding Golston.
That's because Les has 4 fouls, and Golston's oh so tough with the ball. Golston's back at the point when Bradley plays the man. Loyola will run the clock down. It's 25 seconds on the 45 clock now. Oh, look at Golston go by Hawkins. And got a great pass and a thunder dunk by Moore. And that, Loyola ran their offense brilliantly.
And you said it all. Give that all to Golston. He got by Hersey and set it up.
Bradley must answer quickly now. They need the ball inside. It goes to Boise. He's there. He got fouled.
Battle.
Well, it's a 2-shot violation, I would think. It is Battle, his second.
Here's what happened on this play. Battle trying to help out. Watch, he's very late. Ball is almost out of Boise's hands. And that was not really that intelligent of a foul. He's going from the back and can't see what he's doing.
Mike Williams did not foul out of the game, remember. He's got 4, but he's on the bench. Well, these are very big, and Boise missed the first one. Let's see, he's his 1 out of 3 at the foul line in the game for Boise.
About 63% from the line for the year.
Shooting for his 1000th point. Let's see. He got it. 50-44, 2:37 left. Bradley has 1 timeout left. There goes Golston. He runs the show. Bradley has Powell in the game on the back line. Senar comes out to help. Loyola will melt the clock each time they can. Golston.
Hersey's undaunted after getting burned that one time. He's still out on him high.
He's got the arms to tip one away. We're down to 2:10 and down to 17 on the shot clock. Andre Battle in his favorite spot. And Loyola is doing what they must do to win this game. 8 for Battle. 2 minutes left. Bradley must score. Les is too far outside. And Loyola has the ball and the lead of 8. Whistle, charge, good play by Les. What a smart play on defense.
And it's a good thing Jimmy Les was back because nobody else did. He's the guy who got the shot off, and he's stuck on about a 2-on-1 on the transition. Watch him. Watch the feet. Are they set? Might be.
And they might not be. But I'll tell you what, Les is going to have free throws, 1 in bonus. And the best thing about it for Bradley is that it stops the clock. 1:49.
And besides, what do I look like, Irv Brown or something? I don't know. Huh?
Bradley misses another key free throw.
And that is hurting down the stretch, trailing by 8.
Can't win the game unless they sink these key shots. 1:40 left. 8 points by Loyola. It was 30-25 at the half. Loyola's got 22 points in the second half, and Bradley has got 19. There goes Battle all the way for an easy layup, and Loyola is taking the game by 10.
Doing what they do best, one-on-one.
Hawkins gets it over to Donald Powell. He turns and puts it off the board and in. Powell gets his first shot of the game in. 1:08. Bradley needs a couple steals. They'll have to come and foul pretty soon. Bradley hasn't put anybody in the back line. They've stayed with Winters and Parks at forwards the entire game. Well, I should check that. Winters came out a moment for Trempe. Down to 20 on the shot clock and 45 seconds in the game. Bradley must foul. They do. They foul the best foul shooter Loyola has.
Yeah, and Dick Versace wanted a foul about 15 seconds ago, and I don't think he wanted Andre Battle.
There you saw Gene Sullivan form the tee for timeout, and the Midwestern City Conference Ramblers are going to win their 4th game of the season unless Bradley has a miracle somewhere up its sleeve.
I said Battle. I'm wrong on that. It was Golston. You mentioned what a good free throw shooter he is. He is averaging 90.9% from the free throw line tonight. Well, I guess we have to talk about who the Bradley player of the game is going to be. Boise Winters had a big effect on this game, especially down the stretch, hitting a couple of big plays. Mike Williams is not in the game. He was very instrumental down the stretch. Shall we go ahead and make a decision now?
Well, it's a very tough decision because so many people are equal, but I guess my vote would be Boise.
I think it will be mine, too. Maybe more than anything because he seemed to dictate what Loyola had to do on defense. Bradley, as a matter of fact, really changed its offense in the second half and looked for Boise throughout. Inside on the post, a few of his shots really just didn't fall, and it's just one of the many elements that have led to what looks like a Bradley loss with 44 seconds to go.
Winters, undoubtedly, Mike, was the toughest brave to guard and defense for the Ramblers. And so I think that his intensity level, as we mentioned, was great all night long.
Well, I guess we'll agree on Boise Winters then. As the Brown Sporting Goods Bradley player of the game, Browns will be making a donation to Bradley University in the name of Boise Winters as the player of the game.
The donation will go to the General Scholarship Fund of the university, and of course that will help some student along the way. Now remember, we're having Bradley again in the championship game of the River City Shootout. That's Saturday, December the 29th. The game is scheduled for 9 o'clock. It'll be the championship game, and we'll have it if, of course, if Bradley is in it. They play Northern Illinois in the opening game of that tournament and would play the winner of Kent State and Fairfield in the nightcap.
Northern's not a gimme this year.
Not at all. They had another tough go today, lost in double overtime at Northwestern. This is Golston, and ironically, he had missed his only free throw before now, but he's got a 9-point Loyola lead. But the clock is Bradley's big enemy now. It's only 44 seconds left. Nobody could have convinced me that this game would have been 55-46 with under a minute.
Probably nobody could convince anybody at Loyola. They probably didn't think it was possible.
Golston hits them both in the clutch, and they've made theirs. Bradley haven't when they've had to. That's pretty much the story here down the stretch. Nice screen by Powell. Less shot is not good, and he is out of the game charging. Jim Lest's 5th foul, and once again he expended all he had for Bradley. He didn't have one of his good shooting nights. Jerome Childs is going to come off the Bradley bench. And one of the problems that both of these teams are going to have in this season is the fact that right now they're not deep enough. They're not playing enough people. They don't have a confidence in enough people. Of course, Bankston being healthy and Bertolini eligible would change that for Bradley.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, it's a problem for Gene Sullivan too, and he's aware of it. He has 6 sophomores on this team, and he says somewhere along the way he's going to have to get somewhat of a major contribution from one of them. As of right now, nobody has really stepped to the forefront. Andre Moore is the most logical candidate.
This will be a foul shooting exhibition for a little while. Half a minute to go. Battle will shoot. And let's see who is the foul on for Bradley. That's Hersey Hawkins' 5th foul, and Trevor Trempe will come back on for the Braves there. Trempe is from Havana, of course, 6'7" freshman. We'd like to thank our executive producer, John Duchesne, and our producer, Brad Longwell. Director tonight, Ernie Santella. Ken Toffanelli, administrative engineer. Associate director, John Crawford. Technical directors, Mark Flessner and Steve Schmidt. Our production stage manager, Steve Shaw. Production assistant, Perry Cole. Richard Klein and Dick Hillig on audio. The cameras, Frank Blaine, John Bolts, Ed Vargas, Bud Wilson. Al Marks, videotape replay. Brad Johansson helping us at the table on stats. Electronic graphics, Rob Adams. Thank you all for a fine job. Childs for Bradley. They're down 11, 25 seconds to go. Childs comes all the way up and fires. 3 Braves rebound, and Parks stuck it back with his left hand and missed it. Golston's on the other end, and he'll have an easy one. So the game will end up with a final score that will not be indicative of how close it was, because Loyola has broken it open here at the end. Parks way out of his range, but Winters rebounds, and he's fouled at 3 seconds. It's 59-46 in Academic. Bradley is now 3-3 on the season, and the Ramblers of Loyola are 4-3, and Bradley has 2 of their 3 losses to this team, the Ramblers.
By the way, on that last play, give the foul to Mike Senar. The basket did not count. It came on the first try by Boise. But he's trying to solidify his claim to the Player of the Game award.
Astonishingly, Loyola put no one else in the game. They played their first 5 and then Senar, and that's it, even though they came ahead at the end quite handily. Boise puts it down a couple of more, and it's 11-point lead, and an immediate foul by Donald Powell doing what he's told to do.
When you look in the box score tomorrow, if somebody didn't see the game, a hero for Loyola probably will be pointed to as Alfrederick Hughes, but I think Carl Golston really changed this game in the last 3 minutes. Bradley got a little desperate on defense, and he really took advantage of him. Even he changed defensively from Lest to Hawkins. Twice he got by Hersey and set up buckets, and that's really what put the lid on this game.
He's got 12 points in this game after getting 26 against Long Island the other night. He's just a great player. There's the only negative against Golston is he's very small, and that's the end of the game. And Loyola wins it 59-48. We'll be back to wrap it up in a moment.
It's a street you can't find on any map, but now you'll find it right in your own hometown. It's the original Sesame Street live show with Big Bird, Oscar, Cookie Monster, and all your favorite Sesame Street characters live on stage. Come for the singing. Come for the dancing. Come and help solve the missing bird mystery. On Sesame Street, the street where everyone belongs.
Opening night on Sesame Street is WEEK night. All tickets half price.
Meet the Weekend Warrior. Every weekend, he's ready to give his all to his favorite sport. The rest of the week, his body pays for it, unless he receives the proper treatment and conditioning. At the Center for Sports Medicine and Health Fitness, we'll put you back in the game. An affiliate of St. Francis Medical Center, our staff has 15 years' experience in treating injuries and conditioning. The Center for Sports Medicine and Health Fitness. We take the pain out of being a weekend warrior.
There are over 1 million Toyota truck owners out there. Have you ever met an unhappy one?
I haven't. Not me. Never.
Independent research ranks Toyota trucks unsurpassed in mechanical reliability. Better than Nissan, Chevy S10, better than Ford Ranger. No wonder 95% of all the Toyota trucks sold are still running hard. No wonder Toyota is #1.
No wonder to me.
The more you compare, the more you'll see. It's Toyota, not the other guy.
Here they are, lottery fans, the 50s, the 100s, the thousands. Yes, the team that makes up the $1 million grand prize and Moolah Instant Lottery heads off through Illinois in search of a winner. And with a little luck, all that moolah could be yours. So remember, you could win $1 million cash paid all at once in Moolah Instant Lottery.
Lots of credit go to the Loyola Ramblers, who played tough competition, and they were tough in the clutch tonight, Mike, and it showed that they were the team when they had to be.
They had the horses down the stretch. Alfrederick Hughes, he won the battle underneath when it came defensively. He got to the foul line a lot, ended up with 17, and Carl Golston finally outran all the Braves, and that's pretty much the story.
Williams and Winters led Bradley in scoring with 14, and so that's it from the Civic Center Arena. This is Frank Bissoni speaking for Mike Dimmick on the behalf of the entire staff. Thank you for joining us tonight. News 25 is coming up next. The final score, once again, Loyola 59 and Bradley 48. We'll see you at the River City Shootout Championship. Until then, so long, everybody.
The unwieldy, the unwanted, and the unwelcome, tonight on HBO. At 8, fouls, fumbles, and funny business, the not-so-great moments in sports. At 9, Daryl refuses to cave in to the clan of the Cave Bear. At 11, America Undercover, vigilante, right or wrong. Mob justice, clan rule, and team foolery, tonight on HBO.
Like any sports fan, I love the great plays, the ones you run over and over again in your mind. Like Willie Mays catching the 54 series, his back to the plate, whirls around in one motion and makes a perfect throw. But not all my favorite sports highlights have a whole lot to do with perfection. For example, July 4th, 1976, 200th anniversary of our country. I was playing for the Phillies, and I really wanted to do something memorable. So, in the second inning, I got up with the bases loaded, and bang! I hit the first pitch, and I thought, this one's got a chance. By the time I hit first base and saw it go over, I thought, all right, dinger, home run. Wrong. When I turned around, there was my teammate, Gary Maddox. He'd tagged up at first base. I'd run right past him. And when you run past a runner, of course, you're out. I looked up at the second base umpire, Ed Vargo, and said, I didn't pass him. He lapped me. Well, that was memorable, all right, but it really wasn't quite what I had in mind. And that's what this show's all about.
Here it comes. The sinker swung on and in. Reggie is fuming at Dale Ford, and the crowd is on its feet at the Kingdom. Everybody's question! The question, jerk!
Now watch closely. Things happen fast. Shoemaker misjudges the finish line, stands up in the stirrups, and Iron Lead wins by a nose.
Gilbert driving for the first down, loses the football. It's picked up by Jim Marshall, who's running the wrong way. Thinks he scored a touchdown. He had scored a safety.
In the pursuit of excellence, athletes sometimes do strange things. They know what they're supposed to do, but when the time comes to do it, they do something that nobody quite believed was ever going to happen. Hi, I'm Tim McCarver, and that's what the not-so-great moments in sports is all about. A look at the disasters, blunders, and crazy moments that help make those other sports highlights look so great. But hey, think about it. What's the most famous battle in American history? Was it Yorktown? Gettysburg? Nope. Custer at Bighorn. A definite lowlight in the Colonel's military career. But it's the one the fans remember. So now we're going to give you a few to remember. Strange things done in the hope of victory that turned out to be as famous as anything our greatest sports heroes have ever accomplished. The logical place to begin is with bonehead plays, a tradition that started way back in 1908. The boner that happened here at the Polo Grounds just about defined the term for future generations. It was called Merkel's boner, and it was the one heard around the world. Check this one out, pal. Got a little history for you. Hot dog? Mustard? Relish? Adult beverage? Fred Merkel was a good ball player in his time, but what made him an immortal ball player was one momentary mental lapse that cost his team the pennant. Late in the season, the Giants and Cubs were battling for the pennant. In a crucial game, they were tied in the bottom of the 9th inning. With 2 out, a base hit apparently drove in the winning run for the Giants. But Merkel, who was on first base, ran off the field without touching second. Well, the crowd streamed onto the field, but somehow the Cubs got the ball to second base for a force play on Merkel, so the run didn't count. There was controversy, there were appeals to the commissioner, but in the end, the Giants lost the pennant, and Merkel got the blame. 2 decades later, the Rose Bowl had become the Super Bowl of college football. It was there that an All-American named Roy Riegels became the legendary Wrong Way Riegels. Broadcaster Sam Balter was one of the 70,000 witnesses.
In the Riegels case, it was, of course, the faux pas of the football century, I would say. In fact, Graham McNamee was doing the play-by-play of the game, and he shouted when it was happening, "This will make football history." And as you know, indeed it did.
Riegels' teammate Benny Lam was the first one to reach him with the bad news.
It was a very memorable occasion for us because none of us had ever played in the Rose Bowl before. We were fortunate enough to be selected by the Pacific Coast Conference, and we went down to Rose Bowl to play Georgia Tech. I was playing on the left-hand side, and Georgia Tech had the ball. It was around the, I'd say around the 25-yard line approximately, and Stumpy Thomason, their halfback, was carrying the ball. He was tackled and fumbled. Roy picked up the ball and started running the right way. And all of a sudden, he absolutely makes a complete turn and sees the goalpost at the other end of the field, and he took off. And Roy was a pretty fast man. He was no slowpoke. As soon as I saw him coming the wrong way, I noticed it, and I started after him, yelling at him, "Roy, stop, you're running the wrong way." I finally got to him about the 2 or 3 yard line. I took his arm and turned him. And with that, I think all the Georgia Tech men hit him. As a result, we had the ball on the 2 yard line. Roy was dejected. I think we had to call timeout, and he felt terrible.
From the stands, Balter noticed another unlikely aspect of the most famous play in football.
You know, one of the Georgia Tech players, I thought was a rather interesting sidelight, and I saw that part of it, blocked one of his own players out of the play because his teammate was going to make the tackle. His teammate was going to tackle Riegels after he'd run about 5 or 10 yards. And this fella, I don't know his name, blocked him out of the play, so Riegels had clear sailing for 65 yards.
Although Riegels didn't score, his foul-up meant that Cal had to punt out of the end zone.
Benny Lam was the kicker. He kicked, of course, from his own end zone, and it was blocked. Now, if it wasn't blocked, I don't think anybody'd remember Roy Riegels or that he ran the wrong way. But when he was blocked, it rolled out of bounds and into the end zone and was a safety. Safeties have not been the decisive factors in football games all the time. But in this thing, the fates really were unkind to Roy. It was. The final score, as you know, was 8-7.
Once more, the 70-yard run heard round the sports world. A moment of sudden confusion, never to be forgotten. Probably it had happened before. Certainly it has happened since, but never quite like this. Roy Riegels' personal compass betrayed him into a disaster. A wrong way run, a block punt that became a safety, all in the Rose Bowl. Another bowl blunder was celebrated on one of the most popular TV programs of its day, The Ed Sullivan Show.
Syndicated columnist of the New York Daily News, Ed Sullivan, and his toast to the town, named America's #1 TV variety show.
Tonight is a very unusual feature. We've got all of the bowl heroes, not all of them, but a representative group of the youngsters who were the bowl heroes in the football games throughout the nation at the start of 1954, including the youngster you all read about, that young Tommy Lewis of Alabama, who, in the grip of emotion, went out and tackled a Rice runner and brought him down for the most thrilling...
Tommy Lewis that day was the acting captain of the football team. So, you know, he's trying to show some leadership, too, as being an acting captain. Also, Tommy Lewis was a darn good fullback. He scored their first touchdown in the game.
But the speedy Magel, who would go on to become an all-pro defensive back, was having an all-American day. He scored 3 touchdowns and rushed for 265 yards in just 11 carries. Almost 25 yards per carry. Amazing bowl records to this day. But it's Lewis that everyone remembers.
The score at the time was 7-6. Alabama was driving towards our goal line, and we got a fumble on the 10-yard line. We got an offside penalty that penalized us back to our own 5-yard line. And I started an in sweep around the right side and got a real good key block and was running right about 1.5 feet from the sideline, right in front of the Alabama bench.
Tommy Lewis, a 12th defender, came off the bench, made a clean tackle, and then tried to find a place to hide.
When I hit the ground, it knocked the wind out of me, and I couldn't get up. Even if I wanted to go get him, I couldn't get up. He actually never did tackle me down. He just blocked me down. And if I hadn't veered to my left, he could have broken my legs. He could have, you know, hurt me really for life. I can hear Coach Neely in his little shrill, high voice, southern voice, hollering with his big brim hat on, Red, who on earth sent that boy out to tackle my boy? And then they got into a little bit of a confrontation.
The officials repaid Lewis's enthusiasm by awarding Magel a touchdown.
Being on national television, a major bowl game, being tackled right in the viewing audience's living room, so to speak, we were then invited to New York to appear on the Ed Sullivan Show, he and I together.
Here, ladies and gentlemen, is the young Alabama star who, in the vein of die for dear old Rutgers, went out there and died for dear old Alabama. Let's have a wonderful hand for... Tommy, I'd like to ask you just what was in your mind when you saw him coming along the sideline near the bench?
Well, Ed, I was just so full of Alabama. Well, I just couldn't let him get...
I don't think he really realized it at the time that he was conducting his whole interview for the sake of Tommy Lewis to find out what made him do the off-the-bench tackle. But then he realized the next week, when he got all the letters of complaint, that they had made a sort of a hero out of the guy that should have been the GOAT in the game. After the game was over, Lewis came across the field, still crying. He said, I don't know what on earth made me do that. He said, I'm so very sorry about it. And he went on apologizing, and he said, you know, he said, I read all these Jesse James stories about Texas, and if they don't lynch me on the goalpost, he said, I'll be forever grateful when I get back to Alabama. And I just laughed, and I said, Tommy, don't worry about it. I said, the game is over, and forget it.
One of the wildest plays ever took place at what Californians call the big game, starring 2 of the most unlikely men on the field. One was Kevin Mullen, a senior who had never scored a touchdown in his college career.
Just to get kind of loose, Coach Cap introduced us to a game called Grabas, where you have about 15 to 20 guys on each team, and all you do is kind of run around, and you can throw the ball any way you want, you know, backwards and forwards or however. And I don't know if that had any kind of, you know, effect on what happened Saturday, but you know, it was something we kind of did for fun on the, you know, the day after a game, just to kind of break a sweat.
The other was Gary Terrell, trombone player for the Stanford Band. He actually wasn't instrumental in the play, just a guilty bystander.
It so happened that the last 2 minutes of that particular football game were the most exciting 2 minutes of any football I've ever seen. John Elway had a 4th and 17 on our own 30-yard line. Threw a first down pass, brought the Cardinal all the way down to score a field goal with 4 seconds left.
35-yard kick will win it. Listen to the crowd. Here's the snap. Here's the kick. It is long enough. It is good. Stanford hits it with 4 seconds to go and takes the lead 20-19.
To win, California had to score on the ensuing kickoff, which, of course, was virtually impossible.
Before the kickoff, when we were lined up, we realized that there were only 10 guys out on the field on our side. And, you know, so I kind of moved from my position. I moved over to the middle of the field, a little bit out of position, and the kickoff came, and it kind of bounced right to me. I tried to make a run for it around the right side. So then I looked back and saw Richard Rogers standing on the
They're
other
still in
side.
deep trouble in midfield. They tried to do a couple of